Yo, what is
Smack
up, guys? Welcome to Inseinen Studios weekly podcast. Today we're going over Abara Part 2, which is going to be the finale. We're going to finish it up, and it starts. There's actually two parts to Abara. It was technically 2 volumes. Part 2 starts at chapter 7, titled Fourth Eon Guild. So that's where we're at. Where we ended last week was Kudo. He just popped up out of the ground after being, the spike was pulled out by, man, I forgot all their names. Had a Totohomi, and Sakajima. Yeah. Thank God I said them so many times last week. Like, you need to write their names down. What's up, guys? Everyone say hey. Welcome, Mars, Atver, Millennium.
Hello there.
They make my job so much easier. Okay. Well, yeah, so Kudo just came out. He's like ready to rock. Did you guys reread it? Because I read the whole thing before last week's podcast.
Not really.
Yeah, I just opened it right now.
Too long.
I reread it when I got this volume a couple of days ago. I read it all in one sitting again. It was good. Even the bits that we talked about in the last episode. So
yeah, it really is just so easy to sit down and read the whole thing. Like, boom. Especially if you've read it before.
Though.
Yeah.
And I was also listening to music, like, the like industrial music. It was really good, like, matching what's happening in the pages. So I read it really quickly as well.
Oh, nice. So he's surprised. Sakajima is surprised to see Kudo. There's like warnings going off.
Shit's going down.
Yeah. What are the twins' names?
Ayuta and Nayuta.
Yeah, so Ayuta just springed up. Oh, I wanted to pass this by on you guys. Do you think Ayuta, her turning into a white Ghana, was just coincidence? Like the manifestation just happened to
or maybe
happen with her?
Already experimented on, and then it failed. She was wheelbound. Then her sister had to take over, and at the last minute, she transformed anyway.
Yeah, but they want to make black Ghanas. White Ghanas are like bad to them.
Yeah, maybe it was just an experiment, and that's it, just to test how it will work.
For me, it isn't really like experiment here. They're not gonna do the experiment like at the moment where they're getting invaded. For me, how I interpreted it is that when Ayuta was in the chamber, she was already like she had like her detached arm and everything. They're probably like operating on her to regenerate her, but what happened is that she regained consciousness and
obviously.
Well, yeah. Yo, what's up, Bye, Prater? Good to see you guys. I don't know.
Yeah,
I don't know why they would.
I'm pretty sure it's because the psych link with her sister was she got harmed. She got pretty bad, and it probably activated some sort of
corporeal manifestation.
Yeah, she probably just like
the corporealness.
Ayuta.
Well,
right,
okay. No, it is funny because it's like, what is okay, Nihei? Corporeal manifestation. We get it. You're using fancy words.
And also, she was in the sick bay. She wasn't in an experimental room.
That's right. She was in sick bay.
Yeah, but I mean before that, before she got wheelbound, before all that, that moment.
Mm-hmm.
To get linked to her sister in the first place, she probably got experimented on.
Yeah. Look at those nails, man. Okay.
Okay, yeah. Well, anyway, there's warnings going out. She just murdered everyone in the sick bay. So many, researchers and stuff like that. Totohomi is like, Ayuta is transforming into a white Ghana. Warning all observation bureau personnel. Oh no, that's with the sirens and the voice going off in the background.
They're not speaking.
Okay.
They're just silent, and they see that thing is coming through the wall.
Oh
And-
yeah, that's sick. It's about to bust right through. Kudo's like
Yeah.
ready to
And
rock.
then the battle is gonna start in like a few seconds.
Oh
from then, so.
yeah. This is so beautiful. I love how this part starts off with the color pages. Are they colored online? The scans? Do you guys know?
Yeah.
They are?
Yeah.
And then we have like a beautiful face off. Oh damn, dude. Ayata's glare staring down Kudo right here is sick. Dude, I love when Nihei does colored pages.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, he's
Back
got
in the
some.
day.
Anyway, they're like facing off. Oh, and then just boom. They're gone. They just like
just
immediately
disappear.
And then he's saving
Yeah.
the best girl with the one arm. Forgot
Yeah.
what her name
Yeah.
is.
Yeah, so Sakajima is like, okay, we got to get out of here. Like shit's about to go down. He picks up Tadahome, and the building starts like already collapsing because their battle's like insane. They're moving so fast we can't even see them. And what actually happens is Kudo rescues them.
Yeah.
He picks them up,
Yeah,
takes them outside the building, which I
And
didn't
goes fighting
realize.
again.
Yeah, I didn't realize the first time I read this. There's only that.
Same.
Yeah, there's like the panel where you see the complete, like the structure of the buildings and the blast going
Mhm.
off. And then all of a sudden, the next one is Kudo's like dropping them off in the planes on the
Yeah.
Yeah,
outside.
it's ridiculous.
Yeah.
The scale of time is completely off, and I love it.
It's just
Yeah.
in a few seconds, and then we get the two spread of just the whole building collapsing in like a few seconds time. Just
Yeah,
completely
like-
wrecked.
Sakajima didn't even, he gets dropped off, turns around, and this is what he sees. Like, who
Hmm.
knows all the action that took place in that time?
You know,
The
it's-
whole, oh
it's,
my
Few
God, dude.
seconds, and just-
it's really like a stand battle in JoJo. Like
Oh,
in
no.
JoJo, there are like time shenanigans, and there are some parts where like a character who is not super powered, like doesn't have that superpower ability of the stand, they will just think, "Oh my God, what's happening?" And the world has changed by a second. No, I'm not gonna spoil JoJo. If you
Yeah,
watched it,
yeah.
you'll understand.
Okay.
It's even
Yeah.
more like JoJo because people who don't have powers in JoJo cannot even see the powers. So it's like, what the fuck is happening? Those guys are just staring at each other, and
Maybe they're all just crazy.
Yeah.
yeah,
And it's always good to see people standing in front of mega structure, but this time it's all destroyed.
Oh, you're talking about the 2-page spread where it's just, that's crazy. They were going left, right, up and down. I would have liked to see some cool panels. We really don't get to see much of that fight. It just kind of, the next time we
Leads to
see
your
them-
imagination.
Yeah, that's
like-
true. And it does look super cool. And we've already seen so much beautiful action between the Ganas so far.
Mhm.
Anyway, so they land. Sakajima and Todahome are like on their own now. They're like, okay, I don't know what's going on. That was crazy.
Let's
it-
move.
Yeah. And then the next time we see Ayuta, they're like landing nearby the big white Ghana, the monster one that's like eating everybody and about to eat the
She's
Mausoleum.
already being fucked up, just
Yeah,
completely
she's-
wrecked.
She's just completely wrecked. Like, Kudo's not looking too hot either. We'll see him in a sec. Dude, this is such a sick pant. God, I love the body horror. Just,
Like her face has
yeah.
a second face on her.
yeah. And then her
It's like a
face,
sculpture.
it is so cool.
It's a
And-
mask.
And then we get to
Mhm.
see her slowly regenerate, and her like face comes back, except for that little thing on her eye. Or
Her
it's
eyes
just-
gone.
yeah, dude, that kind of reminds me of it reminds me of the half Ghana, half people, or like when the Ghana try to transform into people
Oh,
in Knights of
Yeah.
Sidonia. Sorry, should have referenced that.
Mhm.
And then yeah, she's looking on, and we kind of just go back to regular society. This is the girl who worked with Kudo at the plant at the beginning of
Yeah.
the story.
this is the only time we even hear her and her name. I think.
Oh, one more thing I want to mention. You know, in the page before that, where we have the spread where she is staring at the
Yeah.
distance, like Ayuta. You see that this thing that she's standing on, it kind of reminded me of like, you know, the Om from Nausicaa, or the Valley of the Winds, like, you know, the insect that Om.
Oh yeah, it does kind of look like the
Hmm.
other Nausicaa reference.
Interesting.
Hmm.
Kudo Hayao Miyazaki. We do get this girl's name. This is also cool. So there must have been some kind of cool relationship between Kudo and this girl.
Yeah.
He is fucking beat up, dude.
Obviously,
He's just like laying down on the ground.
she's his
Looks all-
childhood friend again, or something like that. Well, it's work friends, but you get what I mean.
Yeah. So it looks like he kind of just went to her as like a place to like maybe recover and have a conversation. Who knows?
Yeah. And the next pages are the Skullman with his other guild members trying
Yeah,
to get upstairs.
The fourth Eon Guild crew,
Yeah.
who I guess remain nameless. They don't really say their names.
Nope. It's not really
Yeah, it's,
important or not.
Schoolboy, Bird Boy, and USB stick boy.
USB stick boy. Guys, this is really interesting. I still don't really have any good theories on this. The bugs that are surrounding them, because the Skullman's carrying some kind of like archetype to make a Black Ghana birth. You know what I mean?
So there is literally a Black Ghana
I have it.
bug in it that makes a Ghana in the first place, that made the kids into Black Ghanas.
It looks more like a... Yeah, go on.
I think I know where he
Yeah, these
got inspiration from these people and also the bugs.
Nausicaa? Are you going to say
No,
Nausicaa
not
again?
Nausicaa.
Oh, okay.
No.
Because they kind
Do
of
you
look
know-
like the bugs of the forest.
Yeah, they do. Do you know about the story of Suleiman or the King Solomon?
It's been a while
bit.
since...
Okay.
You mean like the biblical story?
The biblical
I mean,
and the mythological, the
Okay.
Abrahamic language,
Yeah,
religious. So basically, tell me if I'm wrong, but here's the thing. King Solomon was a very strong guy. He had supernatural ability. He was a prophet in some religions. So what happened is that he could control entities that aren't human. I'm talking about the Islamic version of it, okay? So in the Islamic version of it, or you can say the Eastern version of it, the Solomon was commanding these entities that are invisible from human eyes. They're called jinn. They're not jinn, like they can't make ground wishes. They're called jinns. And what he commanded them for to do is to make structures, like big structures for religious purposes or something else. So you see the Mosque of Aqsa in Jerusalem. That is also made by Solomon in the myth. And so what Solomon did was he commanded these entities until he died. And these entities were dumb. They didn't know that Solomon is dead. Solomon was standing with a cane, with a stick. And that stick was getting eaten away by little bugs. And there came a time, and Solomon is already dead. He's just standing there. And the bugs ate away the cane, and so the cane gave away, and Solomon just fell on the ground. And that became his tomb and whatever. And all the entities who saw it, they said, oh God, we've been tricked. Now we can invade humanity. Now we can do whatever. And they just, rampaged all over the place. And that's the story in general. There are different variations of it. But a couple of the things that I really noticed is that the stick, of course, the bugs, and also the entities that we can't see with our normal eyes. And, we can't really see White Gona. People can't really see them because they're so fast,
Interesting. I can dig it. That's cool stuff.
Also the stick, like I mentioned last time, like this cane, a normal cane might have the skull bits. Sometimes like the Gothic ones, they have the beak as well, the crow, and the stick. The stick is the memory stick. I think I made my point clear. Okay, let's move on.
Okay. No, dude, Millennium, I love when you go off on these like biblical, mythical, niche references of the work to the stuff. Like, I really do enjoy it. Like, I really do.
All right.
I love that shit, man. But you're completely wrong. No, I'm just kidding.
Yeah. Always wrong.
Oh my God. Yeah, probably am.
No.
Anyways.
But why does it have tape and why an eye socket if there's no eye in it?
Oh, he's Odin now. I'm just kidding.
Yeah.
Well, anyway, so the fourth Eon Guild gang is carrying this thing. We don't know what's in it yet, guys. It's something that makes the Black Ghana form. They need to get it to the top of this tower, so they're like climbing up these stairs, and something is making these bugs just tear up the container to like get to whatever's inside. So obviously, whatever these like insects or creatures are, they're drawn to the Black Ghana forming thing that's in there. It kind of looks like a parasite later on. And we get some
Kind of.
they're going up. It's about to like snap out, and it's
And
about
then
to
it falls to his death. And
Yeah,
with the USB stick to it.
the bird is hilarious. Ah, the cylinder, it's gonna fall.
No.
Skullman saves it. Stickman, he's like, I'll go get it. He like holds on. He's like holding it to the strap. All right, it's secure. Just climb slow and steady. They're just a bit further now. They're on their way up. Yeah, and then one of the legs on the ladder collapses under the Skullman. He hangs on for dear life. The cylinder and the Stickman go flying down, and you just see the bird's face, like she's just like, oh. I don't know if this was supposed to be funny. I find this whole scene hilarious.
Yeah,
especially the bird.
Also, like the if you have phobia of the heights, you'll probably be like scared for these characters. They're just climbing this really long ladder,
I can see.
and things are falling.
Anyway, so the cylinder goes down with the Stickman, and then next thing we see is Sakajima
in the city again.
Yeah, in the city, and it looks like we see a bunch of people being herded to some kind of facility to like keep them safe or something. Yeah,
sorry to go back a little bit. Remember when the observation bureau, the guy on the head of it, I forgot his name, and he was like,
I don't think we never know his name.
Yeah, he's the chief.
Yeah.
Anyway, the chief was talking to the homie, and he said, "Oh, we're gonna really make the 40 Guild angry and stuff." Like it was really serious, isn't it? They were like talking about this myth of 40 Guild. They don't even know how to contact them, right? Like they said they're gonna have to take actions now. And now we see the actual 40 Guild or the remnants of it, and they're really slapstick. Like they're like they can maintain a little bit of like parcel in their back, and so it's probably really heavy. But anyway, it's like really shows that how incompetent was the observation bureau in their theorizing. So.
Yeah, and the fourth Eon Guild didn't put much. I remember them saying they don't think the observation people could handle it anyway.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Anyway, Sakajima's like messed up. His arm is in a cast in a sling, and his buddy says word came back that they finished treating that agent. So Tadahome looks like she was getting some treatment as well. And then, guys, the first time I read this, I was like, what the hell is going on? There's a little bubble that says "ring ring" before Sakajima picks up his phone, and it's the fourth Eon Guild contacting him. Somehow they figured out his phone number. Agent of Sakajima. Yeah. They're like, Agent Sakajima of the Ministry of Martial Justice. I have something very important to tell you. He's like, who is this? And they're just like, I'm a member of the fourth Eon Guild. Okay.
And that's where the chapter ends.
Yeah, then that's where the chapter ends, and we go to chapter 8.
Then we get Urgol's guy, or guy with the skull with some kind of dead creature that's gonna get the black
like a bug.
Yeah, the bug in him. Black Ghana bug.
Yeah.
Then they're on this huge tower, which is basically some rocket station from back in the day.
Oh, before we go there, another thing. Did you notice that the coat that the Skullman is wearing, it's really similar to the coat the observation bureau people wore? Like the people who went, remember the guy
that ripped his arm off.
Yeah, they wore the similar kind of outfit. It's kind of interesting. I think Nihei really likes that coat.
Yeah, or maybe he just stole it or found it. Who knows? I mean, could be pretty old.
Mm-hmm.
Interesting. Anyway, they make it to the top, and like Mars was saying, it's kind of like some kind of mini rocket launching place.
Yeah.
The thing
As in the
opens up.
sky, that's on billboard.
Yeah, the rockets kind of like shoot out from it, ready to be launched.
Towards the mausoleum.
Oh, dude, the bird. What do you mean it's okay? Because we have another one. Are you out of your mind? So I guess Skullman had an extra cylinder the entire time.
You can see it in the bag when the first one falls. There's a second one just underneath.
I see.
And then the bird.
Bring back up.
Yeah, Millennium, you gonna bring something back up?
I don't think it's a backup. I think they took two because they only have two mausoleum left, anyways.
Oh yes,
yeah. They probably only had two left. This seems like a very bare bones guild of what's left over of these people.
Yeah, there probably were people at some point, and then just transferred from body to body, and it's just the last thing they can come up with, and that's the state we're in now.
Anyway, the bird's
the original war was like hundreds of years ago, so
yeah.
We're in it.
The bird's like, the three of us will get expelled from the guild, and then the Skullman's like, yeah, I've already made arrangements to recover it. He's talking about calling Sakajima. So, guys, when he called Sakajima, he was basically telling him the location of that cylinder and to go get
with the memory stick fighting off the box.
The bird's like, it's not something that you can just rebuild, and I don't like the way you're using it this time. It's a waste. Skullman's like,
enormous the white Ghana is at this late stage. What would be the point of creating two regular black Ghanas to go against it? Hey, the cylinder's gonna fall, and the fourth Ghana guild has been extinct for ages.
One thing I want to mention, sorry. You know, when they contacted Sakijima to bring the stick or whatever, I think it was the crow that contacted the people to Sakijima. But here, the Skullman is saying, I've already made arrangements to recover it. Probably he contacted someone else. Who knows? Probably he contacted an Ayuta. I'm just kidding. Let's just move on.
Okay, I was thinking that too, Millennium, because we do see the bird in the background of the panel with the bubble that says, I'm a member of a fourth Eon Guild when Sakajima gets the call. But it's not like the bubble leads to the bird's mouth. Like it could have been in the background and the Skullman was saying it. Because I did notice that too. I was like, why would the Skullman be saying that? But you could be right. He could have contacted someone else. Not, I don't think we'll ever know because that's not what happens.
Yeah.
Anyway, we go back to Kudo and Tadahomi. No, not Tadahomi. It's the girl.
Just another detail is that apparently the bird says that they're gonna be expelled from the guild, but they are supposed to be the only three left, so it's not really important or something.
Dude, I think they're just kind of crazy. Because the bird says that.
If you look like that, you're crazy. Right.
The Skullman's like, in the fourth Eon Guild has been extinct for ages. He's like writing off whatever the bird's saying as nonsense. Like, we'll be expelled. Like, what are you talking about? I think they're like borderline and like just like crazy things, whatever they are.
Maybe they get more and more crazy. We're just
that's just
a new body to a new body.
That's just the only thing that they're holding on to the fourth Eon Guild. Otherwise, there's
nothing else left.
There's
they're the only ones continuing it.
Anyway.
Yeah, so we go back to Kudo, and this girl's name is Shige. Because he's like, do you understand, Shige? You need to get as far away from here as possible. She's like, what's the point? We're all going to die anyway. And then we get a cool reference. It's just like the story of the starving crab, isn't it? She says she had a picture book when he was little. Yeah, which goes back to, Abara, the name.
And then we see the oil, what I mentioned in the first episode, being gone.
This is
referencing.
Yeah, you're right, Mars. Anyway, she's like, in the end of the story, everyone is eaten by the white crab, including the black one. We should have read this story to know. Because obviously Nihei put this in here for a reason. There's black and white Ghana, Abara. Like the name Ghana is based off of like what the shell that the crab's in.
Yeah.
I have to look into that. Millennium, where's your cool ass knowledge
Oh
about
yeah,
stuff
We
like
don't
this.
know that story.
I'm just too lazy to like.
What's the starving crab story, Millennium?
Yeah, what is
I'm-
it, you fool?
You know what? I'm starving for some crab right now.
Oh my god.
Who the fuck do you want to have crab?
It's weird because in the previous translations I've read, it was just translated as a starving goner, just like the chapter.
Okay.
Oh,
So
so
it's pretty weird. I don't know.
also there's a story of this the stork and the crab, if you know about
They're
it.
not
So
lazy now.
oh, should I read it then?
it's
Should
too.
I
That's
read
too.
this?
Yeah, Mars right. It's too late. We
Yeah.
gave you your chance, Millennium.
Okay, let's move.
Anyway, Kudo is like, I'm gonna do everything I can to stop that from happening. She seems doubtful. He heads out. He just like leaves. She says wait and tries to follow him outside, but when she gets there, he's already gone. And then her boss is there. Did you see that? Some big black thing just flew off.
The fuck?
Okay,
Yeah,
boomer.
sheesh, the whole world's gone crazy these days. And then he's like, what the
hell?
hell
The
is
oil
this?
tanks are empty.
The oil tanks are empty. Yeah, I don't know. Did Kudo need the oil for something?
Or
Yeah,
maybe
probably.
the pipes that were destroyed, or yeah, maybe
Maybe.
who knows?
I don't know.
Maybe
Yeah.
maybe he drinks the oils and that's how he regenerates. Maybe that's why he was working here because unlimited supply of oil. I'm just kidding. But what
Yeah,
makes
but
it
I
like?
mean, it's a
Or maybe
It's
it's
a
just
sound,
destroyed, or who knows?
it's a sound theory that he, instead of just following his instincts as a black goner and just eating people, he would just work as a factory of food factory and just eat what's there as nutriment already.
Or he just ate it in secret, and now he's like, fuck it, I'm gonna eat the rest.
Yeah. Use your imagination, everyone, because that's the only time it's brought up. We don't get anything else from that.
Yeah.
It's not that important anyway.
Anyway, so it looks like Sakajima got back together with Totohomi, and he's looking for the cylinder.
And then he's fighting off bugs, literally. Over
Oh
here,
my
over
god,
here.
this is so cool! Yeah, dude, USB
It's
stick
cute.
man is like shooting his little laser beam at these
And it's
bugs,
kicking
trying
off
to
other
attack the
bugs with his-
cylinder.
And
You
he's
know what I
kicking off
imagine?
other bugs with his paw.
Oh my
Imagine the
God.
Doom soundtrack playing at that scene.
Ah.
He's killing all the bugs.
Yeah,
That'd be
It's
epic.
and Doom.
because from the perspective of the stick man, these bugs are like the same size as him. So it'd be like us shooting like things that are the same size as us, like with like little head
For him,
lasers.
it's like horror. This like
Yeah. And then we go back to the Skull Man. He's like set up the cylinder attached to the rocket. And guys, there's actually there's like multiple parts to what he pulled out of the cylinder.
Yeah, it's
One looks
the-
like
the-
a base. Like
yeah, the
thing that's
biological part is
Yeah.
is on the right side, and on the left side there is some connection port or something that is attached to it, probably to keep it in stasis.
Mhm. Yeah, it's some kind of biological mass / like base to what's going to be
yeah,
what they're going
probably
to
was
drop the
alive
black
at
on
one
in.
point and then died.
And then
Because he had teeth in the beginning, like a few pages ago.
And
Okay,
then the
that's
Skull
not good.
Man, yeah.
The white thing is a pudding, and he's gonna put sugar in it. Anyway, let's
Oh
just.
my god. Anyway,
Yeah,
Skull Man takes this
sugar.
he takes like a vial out of this like
With the bug.
temperature, this like temperature regulated thing. It's like hardcore.
COVID
It makes it look
vaccine.
hardcore. He's like, here goes, here goes nothing. Okay, and then we get to see the first sign of this, some kind of bug / parasite in the vial that he's holding. It looks otherworldly. It looks very, dude. It looks like some kind of virus / parasite. To be honest,
Probably
Yeah,
is the
this
virus
is
that
why-
he tested on and just muted to form some kind of armor for anyone that wears it.
yeah. I think this is
Mm,
man-made too.
Yeah.
We get some like,
this is what the black goner is, I think.
like what
Yeah,
they
the
used on the
film-
experiments with the humans.
Yeah.
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 It's somehow like we'll get into the flashback story later on. Maybe we can talk about it more. But he drops it, the substance, whatever the hell liquid is surrounding that thing onto the
whatever.
biological mass. Yeah. And then he's like, it worked. The process is starting. It starts, transforming into
Zoom
its
in of the
black
creature.
Ghana-ness. The bird's doing the countdown, launch time in 5 seconds, and then
And then
Ayuta
one
shows
creature
up.
tries to grab it again.
Is that Iota? Oh yeah.
No,
I think it's
yeah,
Ayuta.
yeah.
Oh.
Yeah,
It's the same
Ayuta shows
mask.
up. She's like,
wants a bit of it. And then our boy comes flying, boom, and then whacks him off.
yeah,
And
luckily
half
Kudo
mission.
comes and knocks Ayuta off of the rocket that they're trying to launch. Luckily.
Oh, yeah.
Like, that would have been scary as hell with how fast these things moved. Imagine just turning your head and just seeing her right there in front of your face.
Oh, hi. And
Yeah.
I'm back.
And then, we get this, another epic like battle action scene. They're moving super
Yeah.
fast. God, they look so sick. They're just going at it. And the bird's like, dude, the bird starts freaking
Yeah.
out. The Skull Man is always just like cool. He's just like, it's gone. Calm down. Looks like the Black Ghana is giving us a hand. Fire now while we have the chance. Oh,
Then
and
he jumps off, and then he tries to keep it down.
yeah, it totally comes free of its restraints.
Then he's carrying it back to the rocket again. Then we get this two spread of the monster kicking in to the mausoleum, and he's staring at it.
Yeah, it like shoots up. It's going,
and then
for
we
it.
get this two spread of the whole creature, so bouncing his head against the thing.
Yeah, and guys, pay attention to this part. There seems to be some kind of barrier that surrounds the mausoleum that the White Ghana has to like overcome, which doesn't really talk about. It's kind of visual only. These clues about this barrier for the mausoleum.
Yeah.
Mausoleums.
Okay. The bird's like, oh no, the mausoleum. The Skull Man's just like, damn it, he's trying to hold down the Black Ghana creature he just created to the rocket.
Then he sacrificed himself by firing him with the rocket and the thing.
Yeah.
Skeleton Man. It's really we just met this character, but he's so full of work and stuff. It's really sad to see him go like that. But
the Skull Man,
moment we knew.
Yeah.
He's
it's like his only purpose in life, just to do to accomplish this mission, and that's really shows like the gravity of things right now.
Yeah, I think they're the only ones that really comprehend like the consequences of what's happening right now. They're like, yo, like they know what's happening. He says we're the last members of the guild, and we swore to each other that we'd fulfill our duty. Fire now. Pretty noble dude.
Fire. And then drunk.
And
then transforms the whole thing and it just fires into the creature. And then it screams in agony.
It looks so much like the form that it creates, the Black Ghana plus Skullman plus the rocket thingy. It really like something from a Giger's Necronomicon or something.
Or
it's interesting that it even the Skullman has transformed into a Black Ghana in this panel.
So, it could just be too. It's like surrounding him.
Yeah.
It's just transforming into because he's stuck to it, literally.
Yeah. That's how I kind of see it. I mean, it could be him. Maybe his composition's now part of it, but we don't even really know what this thing is. It could just be a skeleton with like a little robot machine in its skull. It's interesting. Anyway, guys, what happens to this thing? It gets shot at it. And then we see it kind of just ram into the side of the giant White Ghana. And I don't think it does anything. Like I've tried to look at the panels like really carefully to see like what happens to this. Like we see the blast it makes when it hits the White Ghana, but then it just looks like it falls down. Like the last panel of the chapter, do you see it? It looks like it's falling down.
Maybe it was just the point of getting the Black Ghana into the White Ghana and then messing it up, and not just the whole thing exploding into him or something like that. The rocket was just a means.
Here's the
think
thing.
the part that falls off is the head of the giant white gunner. But we can see that the head, while falling, actually falls into the mausoleum. So that's probably why it still breaks.
Oh, you're
But,
saying the white Ghana or the black Ghana rocket thing hits the white Ghana, breaks its head off, and then what we see fall is the giant white Ghana's head.
I think, but it could be the black gunner too.
No, it's
And
the
it-
rocket that falls off because it falls off from the side and not from the front.
Oh yes, but here's also another thing. Like the impact of that rocket would, like, if it was really breaking up the head would go in the opposite direction. And also, I think what's happening, my interpretation of this thing is that the force of the rocket with the black gunner probably did something to the mausoleum's barrier, and
Or it's
we
just a
see
white gunner just bumping his head into it, and then
The
it's
white Ghana could have also just overcame the barrier. Like it is its job to do that.
Yeah.
It's just its
It
purpose,
was working.
its nature.
Okay, well maybe we'll get some more clues a little bit later. Anyway,
Forbidden
also
Cage 09.
well, yeah, but before that, the last panel we see the mausoleum. Something's going on with it. Like there's like the white. Yeah, it's like
it's
cracking.
like
The
a root of
barrier
the
is
world
cracked.
tree.
And then soon after this, it turns. Oh, I guess we'll see it. Okay, chapter 9, Forbidden
Yeah,
Cage.
Before
Beautiful
we see
picture of
I
Naita.
just want to hint at one thing.
Yeah.
The mausoleum has the weird thing, the white thingy. It kind of looks like a root of, like, the world tree. Like, I don't know if you're familiar with it's just a normal tree. The roots. I'm not going to
Yeah.
explain the world tree. Anyway, so we'll see it later on as well. So just move on, okay. Forbidden Cage.
Or
Okay.
just giant stick.
And then so chapter 9, Forbidden Cage. The giant white Ghana is there chilling. The mausoleum's breaking down that it just touched. It doesn't look like earlier they were like, oh, the white Ghana eat the mausoleums. I think that was just like a metaphor because obviously it's not eating it. It looks like he touched the mausoleum. Some kind of interaction between the white Ghana and these mausoleums causes it to
Crumbles
break down, crumble. And it turns into just the giant tentacle things that we saw in the landscape during the giant big landscape panels earlier in the story when like Todahomi's traveling from the city to the what are they called? The society?
The observation bureau.
The observation bureau.
Yeah.
Yeah. The whole landscape is just those giant
Yeah.
And then it releases
cylindrical things.
these giant tubes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Giant
It's
tubes.
like-
That's what the mausoleum is just turning into.
It's like a seed being germinated, but the seed is like the thing that reaches the sky, the beanstalk.
Nice.
And-
Yo, lay it
then
on
these
us,
giant
Millennium.
Tubes are released from.
Anyway, it also reminded me of, like, from Naruto. I don't know if you're familiar with Naruto. They're saying,
yeah.
Now,
What's Naruto?
okay.
I don't know.
Anyway,
I think we all know what Naruto is. At least have a
Alright.
reference. All right.
Mars might not know. Okay, anyway.
No.
Hello, Doggo. Don't the dog. Just bark at it again. Anyway, so in Naruto, the first Hokage's jutsu was forest creation, and he had a similar jutsu where things would pop up from the ground, like tree roots, and destroy everything. So this thing has become a huge forest-like thingy with lots of pipes and stuff. I don't know if they're biological or just mechanical, probably biological, and it kind of shows us like how things might have gone in the past and how we got to that landscape where Tadahomi was traversing through, like, terrain. So yeah.
Yeah, now they're just falling on the city, screwing things up. These things are massive.
Probably in prison.
Why is Mars on Mars?
Mars is glitching. Probably he's he's broken the forbidden cage or something.
Dude, the forbidden cage. Was that the chapter title?
Yes.
All right, let's try to get as far ahead of let's just try to get through this story without him. Jesus Christ.
But I just want to add the landscape created by these tubes look very like the works Giger did for Jodorowsky's Dune. There's a lot of, if I remember right.
Oh yeah, I know what you mean.
The Arconian castle as the artwork he did for it in the exterior it has the same kind of big cylinders that take entire fucking kilometers upon kilometers of just weird cylindric shapes.
Oh yeah, I know what you mean. I've
Okay.
seen. I think I've seen the even if I Google it, I don't think it comes up that very often. But yeah, I've seen it. It's really cool. I think Geiger has been like Japan's inspiration for weird shit for a long time. So yeah, no surprise there. Hello, Mars. Welcome back.
Hey, Mars. Anyway, yeah, the big tubes that the mausoleum turned into fill the landscape. And then we go to a helicopter where our gang's on. We got Sakajima, Totohomi, some of his peeps. They can't believe it's happening. The dude driving the helicopter, he's like, wait a second, didn't you say that the White Ghana wants to destroy the mausoleum? So why are we going straight there? Don't know about you guys, but I don't have a death wish. He's got a good point.
He's good.
Okay. And the stick man's like, one of our facilities is located at the summit. We have to reach it. If we lose the last mausoleum, it's all over. Then it won't matter where we go. So obviously the people don't really know what the Fourth Eon Guild's talking about. And neither do we at this point. But some crazy shit's about to go down when this last mausoleum gets eaten. What do you mean by all over? The stick man's like, the forbidden cage will be unlocked. Dude, whenever I read this, I'm just like, oh, forbidden cage. Thanks, Nihei. Another just corporeal manifestation. Forbidden cage. Thank you. I know what these terms mean.
Yeah, but I mean,
or like the king that died at one point in some kind of in the house we see later on, and it's just he was just a king. He wanted to be buried there. Yeah, just random fact. Thanks, Nihei, for the random bullshit.
King Solomon, maybe.
Oh man.
Yeah, maybe.
Sure, it's fucking Solomon, man. Sure.
Anyway, so a bunch of interesting clues to what's happening, but we don't really know.
But, that is why I think they were on top of the extreme speed. There is probably some dimensional fuckery innate to the White Ghana.
Well, it is, some kind of like when they manifest, they could be from a different dimension that's like kind of like breaking into ours, and that's how they break in. They manifest through people.
Yeah,
that's honestly not that crazy and relative to like what the shit that's happening in the story.
I've read a science fiction story a long time ago where it was kind of similar, but these astronauts, they try to go to a different dimension, but they also invite the aliens of that same dimension, of a dimension higher than us. And what happens is that when those creatures come in, we can only see their internal organs. We can't see their outside. Basically, they're so big in size and their dimension, we cannot perceive it. So they have the third dimension, also like fourth and fifth dimensions to their organism, to their structure, and we can't just fathom it at all. And when they invade, we can only see like parts of it. And here in the story, these if there really are like interdimensional alien invaders, they're probably like coming through people, like from inside them. It's really interesting.
It kind of reminds me.
Manifestation.
Yeah, I don't want to get too far off track, but have you guys seen Promare?
Yeah, I've seen it.
They're basically aliens from a different dimension that are coming through the people.
Do you mean Promare or something? I don't know.
Promare. In the movie, I'm pretty sure they say Promare. Actually, no, this
Oh,
is like getting
okay.
into spoilers for that movie, so I guess I shouldn't talk about it. Anyway, if you guys like
Yeah, sure.
Studio Trigger, and the same guy who directed Gurren Lagann and Kill la Kill directed this movie. It's called Premiere. It's
Yeah,
super
okay.
recent. It's super epic.
I've only seen, let's say, I've only seen fan art of it.
It's good. Maybe I'm just
yeah,
a
it's
Trigger
fan art,
fan.
huh?
I think I'm a wrong crowd here. Anyway, so we go back to the fight between Ayuta and Kudo, and they're like just super flying
Bouncing
around. Yeah,
tentacles.
bouncing around. We see a
Dragon Ball.
panel where like his hand gets like stuck to
And
one
then-
of the tentacles.
Yeah, and the next
Yeah.
panel you see this giant creature, and then both impaled each other just to kill him.
Yeah, they're up close now, just fucking impaling each other. It looks like Ayuta impaled Kudo, and then he just like kind of used the moment to bear hug her and like rip her body into
Yeah.
at the spine, because now half of her body's on the floor. He sticks another hand through her chest. Dude, this is so brutal. Wood is just like, tuh. So it looks like her like skeletal outer form stayed, and her physical body without the armor falls down on the ground, and then she starts crawling away. Dude, this is such a sick panel.
Or
Look at her with her like crawling there. Oh, it's beautiful.
This shows for me that they still have some form of higher thoughts, They're not just like killing machines. No, there are humans underneath.
They're
Gunner.
survival
they want to
instincts.
survive.
Yeah.
That's
Or
already
Ayuta could just be going off instinct, because we later see her body crawl to the giant white Ghana and kind of like become a part of it. I guess we'll get to
Yeah.
that. I don't know why Kudo didn't try to finish her off. Maybe he just like felt that she looked so pathetic, half crawling like that.
Yeah, but I think he's gonna get interrupted pretty quickly, like later on.
Yeah.
We'll see.
Yeah, we will see. So we get a panel of the big white Ghana. Oh, something's happening in the sky. The dude from the helicopter's like, the sky looks strange. Todohomi's like a vortex of light. And then the stick.
How is this
This guy
possible?
just
There's
grew an
still
asshole.
one mausoleum left.
Yeah, so they were under the impression this shouldn't be happening right now, because until the last mausoleum's destroyed. But we learn it was only temporary. Anyway, this giant hole opens up in the sky. It looks like it's from a different dimension, to be honest. Yeah. And something starts falling out of it. It's this giant mass. Do you guys hear that in the background?
A little bit.
What?
No.
All right.
Yeah,
cool.
a bit.
So there's a giant.
Someone's like vacuuming the fucking hallway.
Really? Oh yeah, I can hear it.
Well, I want to hear it playing on my side.
Well, hopefully they'll pass by soon. Jesus. Anyway,
there's a giant asshole in the sky, and the road is coming out of it.
It does. It's like some kind of like spaceship or some kind of structure is falling out of this hole that was formed in the
dimensional
sky.
shit.
Yeah, crazy dimensional sci-fi shit is happening.
He's just joining the party on that thing.
It looks like, I don't know if these were like, there's a little bubble that says crack next to the the structure that's falling out.
It's just falling.
I don't know if that means like
hand, then it falls.
Sorry,
I don't know if that means whatever the structure was like cut off, because the thing, because the hole, the dimensional hole or rift, whatever it is, was like closing, and it kind of like chopped whatever was coming out off.
I see.
But either way, it does continue to fall down, smashes on the ground. Kudo's like, I think Kudo at this point, he's like, what the fuck is happening? Oh, we see Ayuta's body just go flying. Her like half torso body. And he looks on it in awe, and things start just shooting out of it. Like it looks like hundreds of things.
From another dimension.
The whole thing is like a biomass, and it's just ejecting this white Ghana stuff.
Yeah, so whatever this was, it was
yeah.
some kind of vessel for the white Ghana. Honestly, if you compare it to a the Knights of Sidonia, like the Ghana ships that are a mass of a bunch of different cores that they shoot out of it, it's sort of similar to that.
It looks similar.
You know, when Abara ended, the very next volume release was having Biomega Chapter 1. So there was no gap in between like these two manga at all.
Right.
So that's why I think Nihei was like, okay, I got this idea from this manga. They're really cool. I want to implement into something, something else. So that's how the Biomega came in, where the biomass and stuff.
Biomega? What? Isn't Biomega the Biomega manga? I need to. No, Biomega started before and finished after Abara.
Yeah, it was
Really?
made in the
Yeah,
middle.
but yeah,
But what I'm saying is that they're like really in the okay. I was just looking through
it's
the
the middle of
magazine.
No,
Biomega.
Millennium, you're
Yeah.
just wrong.
Yeah, I'm wrong. Okay, maybe. But here's the thing: Abara ended, and then Biomega started again. Then because then probably there was a
Yeah.
hiatus. But I was just checking the magazines, the Ultra Jump magazine,
Yeah,
and
it's
I
probably
saw that there was.
why Biomega just cuts in half,
Oh,
and
I see.
it just starts being fairy tales and the weird shit.
Yeah. So,
Uh-huh.
well, anyway,
Nice,
back to
interesting.
Abara. So I don't want to like confuse people. They're gonna be like, wait, what?
What are you all about?
So some kind of vessel holding these white Ghana comes out of the sky, dimensional rift.
Surrounding Kudo.
They shoot out of it. Yeah, they surround Kudo. Oh, this is sick. And then we just get to see a bunch of
Yeah.
different like humanoid white Ghana
They
forms.
all have
Some of them have
the
fucking
big
wings.
faces.
This is horrifying.
The
multiple.
And also,
They have
the multiple
multiple
jaw
like
one.
jawbones,
jaw.
and they,
That hurts my eyes, I keep looking at it and I can't make sense of it. My eyes are just confused.
Are you talking about all the
Good.
different white Ghanas?
No, the one at the really like right corner, the bottom corner
That's
one,
two
the
mouths.
two different jaws.
Oh yeah. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that hurts my eyes. Like,
yeah, but don't forget it's a mask on top of the actual. Well, we
Form,
don't know.
whatever
If
it
aren't
is.
they really? Aren't
Yeah,
they really? Because these are not. These
yeah,
are
we
not
don't know
like.
if those are actual humans
These are not
or
people. They're
or if
just
they are
creatures.
aliens.
Well, guys, we also don't know. They could be aliens that whatever the white Ghana is took over, and then they could be
Yeah.
underneath the shells. They could be purebred white Ghanas, and they just look like that.
Yeah.
It could be a bunch of like, you could probably make a bunch of different theories. All I'm saying.
Yeah.
Oh.
Anyway, they're freaking horrifying. They're
Oh.
flying around. Kudo looks like he's
So,
fucked.
if
Oh,
you-
and then they just start going at it, and all you see is like white lines and explosions, and yeah. So Kudo's
Seems
got his
Vortex
fucking
was
hands
limited.
full.
Yeah, it seems the
Yeah.
vortex was a limited duration type, closed right away. Are those white Ghanas? Is New the flying
Yo, you
backwards,
just-
Denji?
Okay.
Kudo, even so.
Mars,
They did-
Mars, if you're gonna read
Well,
dialogue, you got to read it,
Yes.
bro.
I was reading it, but you're interrupting me.
Oh my
But
god.
you're reading it like you're okay. Anyway, Sakijima is looking out, and the stick is explaining is the exposition stick, and it's just exposing, like
Come
giving the
on, just
exposition
read
for
it.
everything. Why are you gonna read it? If you're gonna read it, make up two different voices at least.
Yeah, I don't do that.
Okay, so Tonohomi was like, it looks like that vortex was limited duration. It closed right away, so it's temporary. Sakajima's like, holy shit, are those all white Ghana? And the stick's kind of just ignoring them. He's like, fuck these humans. They don't know what's going on. He's like, is Nayuta fighting back or Denji Kudo? Even so, they won't be able to hold out for long because there's just so many white Ghana.
Voice at all. That's just the same voice for everything.
Okay, yeah, I think Millennium was making a joke, but at least I'm like saying who's saying what. It doesn't matter, Mars. Don't get so butthurt over everything. All right.
Yeah, that was something serious.
Dude, you're just Mars. You're just easy, bro. Stop being so easy.
I am easy. Fuck
to
you.
frustrate.
He's easy. He admits it.
Uh,
I am easy.
They're in the helicopter. Some little white Ghana attacks the helicopter, tears it up, and it looks. Oh, dude,
Kills
the pilot.
pilot.
Yeah, it's like half of his head's gone. It looks like a scene from Metalocalypse when they just like take off the head and
Or
teeth
the
and
thing
tongue
or
are-
something.
And there's this little white Ghana is like a little monkey alien looking thing, and he
They're
just
like
Whatever
pygmy.
it gets shot at and then get just the
yeah.
It's like a
wings
pygmy
just
from.
spat at it.
But guys, what is important? He's at the helicopter and he points at the cylinder behind Totohome.
Communicates.
Yeah, he's
Yeah,
trying to
he wants
communicate
to-
by pointing at the cylinder. Unfortunately, Sakajima didn't care. He whips out his gun and shoots it, and then it gets torn up in the blade of the helicopter. But the helicopter was already destroyed, so they're making a crash landing, and it lands on top of the last mausoleum. What it looks like, right, guys?
Mhm.
Am I right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
It goes up. They survive somehow. They're like getting out of it. Sakajima's buddy is like,
His
my
hand is
hand.
ripped off and then kaboom, and it's just gone.
Yeah, boom.
And it's just ripped in half.
I feel bad for the guy. The way he died.
I don't.
His torso is just ripped apart. So like,
Yeah,
No,
it
yeah,
looks
that's
like
how-
his bodies don't have a very long
augmentation.
life expectancy.
No, not
Yeah.
a lot of
No
not a lot of life
shit, you
expectancy
don't
in this
say.
story.
and that really shows like he wasn't augmented probably like the other two characters.
Well, he
Not
could have
augmented
been.
enough.
It was a giant helicopter explosion. Who knows
Oh,
how?
yeah.
Like
Fair
He
enough.
he was probably just the one closest to it. But who
Yeah.
And the
knows?
other ones are just a bit farther away or AK plot armor and they get swung out.
Anyway, we
Okay.
see Nayuta, guys, not
She
Ayuta.
just appears out of nowhere, and
Yeah,
she's holding
Nayuta,
some
the black Anna. Yeah, she's holding, guys. The first time I read this, I was like, who is that? It was the director
It's
of the
boss.
Observation Bureau.
'Cause he
Yeah,
hated
the
him.
boss. Yeah, she did. She's like holding his like the skin of his face. And she's just like holds it up to Sakajima or no to Totohome. Oh. What you went to the Observation Bureau. She drops it and then points or no, she's pointing at her device
At
on
her
her neck,
neck.
guys.
Yeah,
the
the
thing that cuts her head
device,
off. She's like,
It's all right now. No
Ah.
one will ever use that on you again.
yeah. So yeah, she hated that guy because he would be responsible for chopping her head off
Yeah.
if she disobeyed orders. And now that he's gone, also we get a cool introspective at what Nayuta is like. She's like very childish and immature, and
Yeah.
who
I
knows?
wonder,
Maybe they.
I wonder if she just cannot talk at all because of the device put on her throat. But maybe, yeah, she's probably a bit retarded as a human.
Yeah, they could have like
Because of the
brainwashed her and like fucked with her
Yeah,
head too.
Probably.
If
'cause
my
in
head was
Dune-
going,
Well, next chapter
Anyway.
10, Denji Kudo.
Okay,
you're
cool.
just moving on.
Guys, this is great. Well, there's a lot of stuff that happens in this chapter that we can reference past things because we get a lot of maybe not all the answers, but we get a lot of answers in this flashback chapter of what was going on with the observation. So on to chapter 10, Denji Kudo, and it starts in the past. It looks like we see Denji as a kid. We see the director there because I think Adfer, you brought it up on the back of his.
There's a mask of on
Yeah.
his back. And yeah, he seems younger also because
Yeah.
he's in better shape. Let's say.
Mm-hmm. So Kudo, as a kid, just got dropped off in this room with. This is so trippy. Like if those things are living, they look like little devils next to the little girls that are in there.
Probably the cats or something like that.
Do you see the little devils? They're
Yeah,
like
yeah.
devils, bro.
Yeah, I see
Yeah,
the
like-
cats.
Do you think they're
Looks
toys?
They're like pygmies,
Look
like
at-
I mentioned before.
Do you think they're
Like,
just little white Ghana creatures? Like, or do you think they're
No,
toys?
it's like
Probably. It's
no,
guys, it's
probably
pets,
genetically
according to me. Yeah.
genetically engineered bio toys,
cats.
like little pygmies made out of rats. Because the
Yes.
tail, it's of a rat, So
Okay.
No, but it
Okay.
also looks like a marsupial, like
Nah, it's a cat.
Anyway, I think the best thing we come up with, there's some kind of bioengineered creature that
or
these
probably just
for them to play with or like testing. We see Totohomi as younger. So we actually learn here that she was older than Kudo when she met him. Because she kneels down to Kudo. Hi, it's nice to meet you, Kudo. I'm Totohomi. And now we go a little bit forward into in the past of the future. So just
Time.
fast forwards time a little bit, yeah. And Kudo's aged. He's talking to Totohomi. She says, seeing the view from up here, you can tell there were once hundreds of mausoleums from long before the time of the Fourth Eon Guild. Kudo's silent. I mean, we didn't get any new information out of that. We kind of already knew non-combatants aren't supposed to talk about stuff like that without good reason. So obviously it's like some secrets being kept. It's been almost 600 years since a white Ghana destroyed a mausoleum and the Fourth Eon Guild perished. So we get a little bit of history lesson. So it looks like mausoleums used to cover the surface of this area, which I think said that in the beginning of the story.
Yeah. But it said at the beginning and at the end of the story. Just next chapter, you get even more of a flashback.
Mm.
Mm.
Anyway,
And
Kudo's like,
a little tidbit. Also in Blame
Yeah.
Gagwan, in Blame 2, there's also a pen with the same mausoleums in them, and some people have theorized that's the same world, but I doubt that because you see the same structures.
Which story?
Blame 2 or some one of those
Yeah,
chapters in Blame Gagwan.
No, I don't think so.
Yeah, no one thinks that they're
Fuck
in the
you.
same.
It
I
would
love
be
you guys.
ridiculous.
Anyway, Kuda's like, if the cyclic hypothesis is right, the day that the forbidden cage will be unlocked could come in our lifetime. So some kind of events go off some kind of ancient calendar or clock that we don't know about. Maybe we can like reference a clue about that. She's like, that's absurd. Yeah. We have no idea if a white Ghana will ever appear again. So it looks like Totohomi is just kind of be optimistic. He's like, whoa, okay, you're the one that brought it up. In training today, I finally got to see a white Ghana specimen. It looked exactly like you'd imagine it would, like a monster that could destroy all of humanity. So we get, proof that the observation is keeping white Ghana things and probably observing them, testing them potentially.
Experimenting on them.
Yeah. She's like, let's stop talking about it. I couldn't sleep the night after I first saw one. Kudo says back then the Fourth Eon Guild developed special weapons to use against the white Ghanas. Did you know that they successfully drove the monsters back a number of times? So it looks like he's talking about the black Ghana experiments. So they've been doing this on other people in the past, and that's how they fought against the white Ghanas.
Here's another thing that I noticed. I don't know if you guys mentioned it before. It's like the white Ghanas can always sense black Ghanas, like they can always sense it there if there's a black Ghana manifesting anywhere. They always surround them. They have like a sixth sense of something, like a Wi-Fi signal. Hey, there's the black Ghana there, and I think that's the same technology they use for Ayuta and Ayuta's communication, where Nayuta is a black Ghana and Ayuta has a white Ghana inside her probably. And we can later on see like Ayuta becoming a white Ghana. So yeah, that's my 2 cents about it.
Interesting. Yeah, that could be a thing. Like maybe they did white Ghana experiments on her. Also, it would make sense that the technology used or whatever biochemistry used to make the black Ghana parasite thing that turns them was discovered by studying the white Ghana. And maybe that's why they can always sense them. Like there's some kind of similarities in whatever strain of biological data, whether it be like DNA or who knows what they used.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, Kudo's like those weapons were called black ganas. The observation bureau keeps them under lock and key like they're religious relics. But there's a rumor going around that they're going to bring them out soon. Tonohomi's like, I've never heard of anything like that. Kudo's like, you're the daughter of the observation
Liar.
bureau's general director. Yeah, he's like what? How could you not know about it? And she's like, well, I don't. Why do you sound so accusatory? I honestly don't think she's lying.
She's not lying at
The
the
father
time.
just doesn't want to
probably.
know anything, basically.
Yeah.
Just keep it
And
all the
I
secrets
think-
to himself.
Personally, I think she's lying, and
You do?
although she likes like all the people that they're experimenting on, she's just trying to put herself away. Like personally, she doesn't want to get involved. And I think here, when Tadahome really she faces the question from Kudo that, hey, do you know about these things? Like, you are the daughter of the general. Of course you know about these things. And she doesn't want to admit it. She's like friends with them. At the same time, she knows that these people are going to get experimented on. So,
Yeah,
yeah.
because
And-
she is kind of silent later on a few panels
and you
down,
can't
which I
see
guess
her
we'll get to it.
eyes either. In manga and anywhere, you can see whenever people's eyes are obscured, it's like basically they're hiding themselves.
Yeah.
They're telling lies. And so,
When
yeah.
she says, I've never heard anything like that. Yeah, she's kind of
Yeah.
turned away so you can't see her.
Yeah,
Very
I
true.
just noticed it. It's a bit cliche.
And then she turns it on him, like, why do you sound so accusatory? And then he's like, typical girl. Plus, they're young. Maybe they like each other, and she doesn't want to ruin the relationship with, oh, yeah, I know all about how you guys are going to get
Wants a
effed over.
boyfriend.
You think? Yeah. She's like, you think I'm lying? How dare you say that?
Yeah, how dare you?
Not
Excuse me.
Anyway.
Just kidding. Okay.
Fast forward a little bit again. There's an
Wakes
explosion.
up in this giant room of hers in the top of the tower.
Yeah. This is the only reference I can make where this is similar to the Biomega scene in Volume
Yeah.
1, where Eon
Yeah,
Green's at
yeah,
the
yeah.
top of the tower and the room looks like that.
Egan Green.
Kind of similar vibe going on. Anyway, there's noises going off outside. She checks the window, saying it came from the research wing and that she might need to go there. And then boom, enter Kudo into her room. He's all in black Ghana fucking form. She's like, Kudo. And he's like, I got out. It was easy. Someone's already trying to call her on the phone. She has Agent Totohomi. Like, someone's trying to call her. And then Kudo just, like, in a blink of an eye, you don't even see him go over and take it. But in the next panel, it's in his hand. He crushes it.
I don't know who I am anymore. So
Yeah,
he just left wrong memories.
But yeah, he basically breaks the phone. I was thinking about that as well.
Yeah, so guys, when Kudo says Aita and Naita don't know who I am anymore, I think they were experimented on first. They got fucking brainwashed. Then it was Kudo's turn to undergo the experimentation. After he got his powers, he immediately broke out before they could like brainwash him or erase his memories or anything like that. Because obviously Kudo is super pissed about what they did to them. And it looks like he did escape before he suffered the same fate as Aita and Naita. What do you guys think?
Probably,
Yeah.
Just before they got experimented on and got fucked up in the head too, he escaped and tried to live his own life, basically, and just fight.
Just one thing to see here, it's really cool. I think lots of people don't know about this. In manga or any animation, any kind of scenario where people draw these two characters interacting, if they're having a genuine connection between them, like a communication, they always look at each other. You'll see, like, even though in the panels they're not looking at each other, the direction always shows that they're looking at each other. But in this scene where Kudo faces Tadahome never looks at Kudo in the face on. She's always looking somewhere else. Even in the same page, side by side in two different panels, you see that Tadahome is looking at the left when Kudo is looking at straight on towards us or towards Tadahome. It's like Tadahome doesn't want to face.
She can't face him in the eye. Yeah.
Yeah, she can't face the truth either.
Okay.
It's probably because she is moving so fucking fast and she cannot keep up. But
I
yeah,
don't think
it's
But she's
Well,
the
it's
scene.
it's not like he's doing. It's not like he's doing this.
it's not a
He's not
ninja.
fucking. He's not on HDHD or something.
I think Kudo is just standing there. Kudo
I
is
think he is
like,
too.
yeah, and he
And
probably walks
But yeah,
in the middle of the room.
Yeah,
yeah,
He's
it's
in the
a
middle of the
good
room.
catch. It breaks the cinema and comics rules of
he's breaking
dialogue.
Yeah.
the fourth wall. Anyway, Kudo is like this is like a very dramatic moment. He asked Totohome, "Did you know this would happen to us?" And she
Not
just
answering.
doesn't answer him. Meanwhile, a bunch of the
Answering.
gangs coming up on the building to probably try to take him out. Yeah, he's like, "Answer me." She still doesn't say anything. He's like, "I see."
And then
So
just
yeah, she probably did
Yeah.
know. And yeah, they're all about to shoot him, but obviously he's super
too
fast.
fucking fast for him.
Yeah. And then the next scene is just them
Okay.
all bloody and their corpses. The blood's hanging
And
down
she's
from the
just
windows.
flopped down on the floor like, fuck my life. Why didn't it? Why me?
Yeah, like my life
Oh.
is terrible.
Just to go off on a
Okay.
tangent, I'm just gonna mention Samurai X again, like Rurouni Kenshin again.
Yes,
So,
I love you, Millennium. Fucking talk about it.
so in Rurouni Kenshin, I don't know if you know, when Rurouni Kenshin goes away to fight in the with the main villain of the series,
Nope.
and he says farewell to the her what's her name? I forgot her name, but basically the girl that he was staying with. Remember that in the
Nope.
night.
Are
I
you
don't
talking
know if
about
you
the
read
OVAs or the actual?
no, before the OVA, just before the OVA, where before the last arc of the manga with the villain. I don't know if have you read the manga or the have you seen the anime?
I'm 3/4 of the way into the manga. I like left off at the last arc because I was reading it by arc, and I just haven't
Okay.
returned. I don't have my.
Okay.
I don't even have it with me. I'll probably finish reading it when I get
So
back.
it's basically similar technique used in this manga as well, where Rurouni Kenshin is confronted with the girl, his love, and she was like, "Hey, don't go fight this main villain," and he was like, "No, I have to go. I have to fulfill my promise and
You-
whatever."
Mhm.
And when they're talking, Rurouni is not like looking at her. They're looking in different directions. And even though the girl is trying to communicate with him and saying, "Hey, don't go," she's looking at him. But Rurouni Kenshin, he is not looking at like the girl. And it's a similar scene. It builds up tension. And the very end, when Rurouni just leaves, you see the girl just sitting down, like on her knees in the floor, in the ground.
Yes.
And it's really very similar technique. I don't know if you'll understand it when you go through that scene again. I'll share a video as well. There's a video that explains this scene
Yes.
on YouTube.
2.5 hour videos and then
Mars.
Mars is just getting impatient.
Dude, Mars just like Mars must have some vendetta against Rurouni Kenshin.
Oh yeah,
I don't.
Mars. I think you should watch some podcast. Where they just go off on a tangent, doesn't talk about the main topic at all. That'd be really epic.
Yeah, what's up, guys? This is my mom. I've been staying with her.
Yeah,
So, like,
hello.
Oh,
you can say hi.
Hi guys.
She's a beast. She is great though. But I did next podcast will probably be in my new place. You guys will get to see it. I started moving in yesterday, putting up shelves and shit. Anyway, this is a beautiful scene. He just tears everyone up. It's just panel after panel. It looks like the employees of the observation and whatever researchers, scientists.
It pretty
just
much
dead.
ties up to the numbers thrown around about how we killed so much people in the past and such.
Yeah.
And then it directly cuts back to his fight against the countless white goners that are currently in the city.
Yeah.
Anyway, we get this beautiful 2-page spread of Kudo after he just like
Destroying
tears
everything in his
everything up.
path.
Yeah, he was pissed off. He was just like, and he probably felt
Killed.
betrayed by Totohome, who never told him all this stuff, and that his
Yeah,
fate was always
obviously.
meant to be just a lab rat to be used by the observation anyway.
But
Mhm.
I mean, they probably had a bit expectations for him, not just as an experiment, but they wanted him to be successful, not just. But yeah, probably they didn't want him to quit and be forced to like
You have to
exterminate him
remember.
before it was
but,
even
yeah.
before he was even useful.
Yeah, but they were
Yeah,
gonna
yeah.
brainwash him, scratch his
Yeah.
memories like they did for Aita and Naita.
But
Yeah,
They're like
by the way,
using them.
he's back in the present because he's fighting the creatures again. So it's not like in the past. We're now back in the present.
Yeah,
Where he
okay,
fights
yeah.
yeah.
all those-
Yeah, yeah,
Mars,
yeah.
right?
We're
We are
talking
back
about
in the present.
But
With
what I'm
him,
saying is like, that's the thing that Abra was talking about. Yeah, they're like using them as human weapons, and Kudo wasn't taking that. He already lost his friends, like in this experiment, and it's really surprising that like Kudo didn't actually kill all the observatory people because probably he knew that this organization is important for what's going to come in the future. Like he could have easily killed the chief as well, because Tadohomi killed the chief for like without like it didn't take so much of a superpower to kill
Yeah,
him.
I don't
yeah,
know if the chief is the director they talk about, because that means
Yeah, yeah,
Tadoromi killed her father.
that's what I was saying
This is
last episode. I think
yeah,
she
yeah,
killed her dad.
yeah.
this is pretty important.
Like if your dad,
I mean,
I
yeah,
think
if
she
your
it's
actually
dad,
that
killed her.
because he said he was.
Dude, he took her arm off
yeah,
when he
and
punished her.
was
She was
punished
probably like,
for fucking up.
yeah,
yeah,
that was probably the final draw. Like she was like, "You did this. I've had to live with
It's
all
like,
these
yeah,
friends
rip
you
my
gave
arm off.
me that you
I'm
just."
gonna rip your head off.
Yeah, like that was probably the final straw for her. She was probably already
yeah,
pissed off about her upbringing and like losing all of her
And
friends to
then,
these
I
Black
lose
Fauna
mine. Well, I'm
experiments and
killing you.
being forced to keep secrets from everybody. She probably just
yeah.
like screw it. She also got like Adver with the surrounding events of this story. She was probably like the world's about to end soon anyway. Like I'm gonna kill my dad because he's a son of a bitch. Like
Yeah,
It's
kill
not
all
just because he's a son of a bitch. It's because he's an incompetent son of a bitch.
yeah, the world is literally about to
Yeah.
end. She was probably like screw it anyway.
I'm gonna kill you all.
Anyway, yeah, back to the present. Kudo's actually doing a good job cleaning up these white Ghana. Like
Yep.
there's tons of them, and he's just like the body horror and
Bouncing around and just ripping
violence
them
is
up.
beautiful.
And the tentacles, man, they're so awesome.
Yeah, gotta love the tentacles, man.
Gotta laugh all the tentacles, man.
Anyway,
It
so
reminds me of Spider-Man.
we go back to Tadahomi and Sakajima, and the bird's leading them somewhere. So, like, I see it over there. If we can make it inside, the Ghana won't find us. It's like this building on top of the mausoleum. And then the bird gets like cut in half by something. This seems to be just
By
like
the
a
tentacle
random
of
white
the
Ghana.
Ghana you see before you.
Yeah. So a random white Ghana. Oh, but then the next thing is Nayuta takes out another one in the
Ripping them off.
distance, zooms over, kills that one. So we got, Nayuta's being a badass, protecting our
And the
peeps.
bird is still in the air. The bird
Yeah, the
is
bird.
still not.
Oh,
Yeah,
I didn't notice that. Yeah, he is. The reference of the speed.
yeah.
And then the stick man's like, "Are you okay?" And
Her
dude, I love
arm.
this. This bird is so funny. He's just a beak in the snow, and he's like, "Over here." Oh my god! And dude, this scene with Nayuta, she's like, it's like a boxer thing. Do you see what her
Yeah.
her hands like
Yeah,
this?
yeah, and it just smashes the skull.
Like, ooh.
But no,
Pretty
the
cool.
way she I thought she was doing a guard, a box guard, but in fact, the white gunner has a tentacle around her neck. So she's
Oh,
actually
she's
getting
pulling
out
it
a
off of her neck.
tentacle.
I see.
I
Adver.
see.
Look at that. Yeah, dude.
Hell yeah.
Anyway, she does her job.
They
And
go into the house.
yeah, Totohomi wants Nayuta to come with her, but
Yeah.
I think she's like, oh, I got to go help Kudo.
Zoom.
Yeah,
But
maybe after
I-
everyone is dead, she's like more free to do what she wants. So
Yeah,
now
she
she like
probably
cares
didn't.
about Kudo and stuff because they were
Yeah,
friends when they were growing up, and they're the last two Black Annas. Like she's like, yeah, I'm needed elsewhere.
yeah. And then a giant creature falls up, and then her sister climbs up, goes into his head, his literally pool of whatever it is, and then just mangles with it. Then we
Yeah.
see
So
tentacles come up
real quick,
from the head.
Mars Millennium. This is why I think maybe the giant white Ghana's head was the thing that was falling back
yeah,
in
From
the
the
Yeah,
story.
rocket, it wants it.
After
it's
the
just
black
God.
Ghana rocket hit it, what fell off was
mhm,
like the head of the white Ghana. It touched the mausoleum, so the thing did its thing. But right here, we see just like Mars was saying, it's like this pool of blood or matter, which maybe this is
yeah,
also something to do with the black Ghana hitting it too. I have no idea what's happening. Is basically what I'm saying. Like
yeah,
giant pool of some kind of liquid
And gets
where
new
this
head.
thing's head
It
was.
grows new head from her head.
Yeah. So it looks like Ayuta is now transforming to the new head of this giant white Ghana, and it looks pretty sick. And it's gonna
Yeah,
go eat the last mausoleum. Oh, and then
Mhm.
Nayuta is kind of just looking on and like oh shit, like we're too
And
late, or
then we,
she does not look happy.
yeah. And then we get this new panel with like this crude yin and yang thing. It's like hands shaking each other, black and white.
Oh, propagation. You're talking about the chapter
Yeah,
cover, chapter 11.
yeah.
Kevin's like tentacles, easy to draw. uh,
Also, in the cover of propagation, the yin and yang thingy, yeah, the black and the white gonna are enemies, so they're the like opposite of each other. So that's how it's like really showing. It's
all
an
right.
yin and yang symbol out of black and white gonna. I always thought that's like a headpiece or something when I read the scans because there wasn't like whole page or something. Anyway,
Oh, I see what you're saying. So we see Nayuta, she fully transforms to get her like mask, her Ghana mask on, and she's facing the face of her sister Ayuta as the head of the giant white Ghana now.
Or like the mask that she had before when she
Yeah.
ripped it off.
And this is
Mhm.
cool. So this is when we actually see the giant white Ghana like bite into the mausoleum and like rip off a piece of it.
Mm.
And then
yeah,
we see Kudo is trying to sever
I
that
think
cervical vertebrae of the giant white Ghana to kill it.
I think
Yeah,
that's
it's
not Kudo.
only
you
yeah,
don't.
that's definitely Nayuta, and I
Oh
think
yeah,
the giant
Yes,
white Gona
Miura.
is only. It's not necessarily the mausoleum, but it's just a piece where Nayuta was standing, and Ayuta just tries to eat her, but she's already gone by the time she bites it.
yeah, but
Yeah,
wasn't
so
she?
yeah,
Wasn't okay. So
Probably she
you
was.
don't think she's on the mausoleum when it bites that?
We don't know. We don't know, but
Okay.
it could be interesting because it would mean
Or it's the
we
biomass that are that shoot
yeah,
out of the sky,
we don't
out
know.
of the sky with the vortex.
And
Hmm.
pay attention to where she is trying to attack the giant Gona. She is on the C5 and
Vertebrae,
Yeah.
on
the
the
spinal cord.
cervical vertebrae.
Okay. Yeah. It
mhm,
does look like it's not the mausoleum because that's where the house was that she jumped away from and
yeah,
left
And then they go
Totohome and
into
Sakajima. Yeah.
and then they go to in the house in some kind of hidden passage way beyond. And then they mention yeah, I've never seen material like this before. This whole place seemed to be built from it. Is it the same Kudo? Is it about time you told us what we're going to do?
okay.
Or did we
So,
come to this place just to hide out?
you're
Do we have a
still
better
leaning it.
idea?
Okay.
No? Then shut your
Yeah.
mouth and keep following.
No, I was like Mars is better. Yeah. Just slow down. Say who say
Wow.
what. It's good. Yeah.
Wow.
Okay,
And
the
that's
reference
the
that
human
I
of the
haven't seen
ancient
this.
king. Ugh. And that's
Okay, the
tomb of an
material.
ancient king. Ah,
It's kind of peculiar that she mentions that she hasn't seen materials like this ever, and that like I've never seen materials like this before. The whole place seems to build from it, so it really goes to show like again it's alien structure. Like they're not familiar with it. It's probably made out of stuff that is not from this world. So
Yeah. Either from a different planet somewhere else in space or
yeah,
the
and then
different dimension.
then they mentioned that the tomb of an ancient king, the builder of a museum, not even close sons, just someone who wanted to be buried in one. And that's
Well,
that's
we
true.
we missed
yeah.
something. We missed the fourth Eon Guild being funny, where the pen was like, it's either the pen or the bird. I think it's the bird because the bird's the one with the
Yeah.
smart ass mouth. He's like, "Do you have a better idea?" No. Then shut your mouth and keep following. And then the next panel is Sakajima just like he doesn't know what to say. He's like, "Yeah, you're probably right."
You cheeky bastard. That's what it's thinking.
And yeah,
Anyway.
like Mars was saying, this is just a random Nihei's just I'll just throw this in there. The tomb of an
Yeah.
ancient king, just chilling in the mausoleum. And then it doesn't
For
have
no
any
reason.
significance. The humans are like, oh, is this the builder of the mausoleum? And then the bird's like not even close, just someone who wanted to be buried in one. And it's like,
No, no,
what the fuck was
it's
the whole
logical
point of
as
this?
well. It's
What
logical as well.
king?
Like
What
you know,
gives?
like tomb is like the place where you bury someone, right?
I
But
know.
if so, he is not the builder of the tomb, probably he died and someone else made it. No, he just wanted to be in it. And so
Yeah. Yeah, it's random Nihei bullshit.
yeah.
Then when they come to this thing that looks like it opens up a door.
Portal.
Yeah, it looks like it's an opening of a portal. The bird's like, the portal is open. Stickman's like, slowly turn the red knob over there. And then Tadahome does it. And then the portal starts to
opens.
open. And then there's like electric field or something going on with it. Oh, and then the hole starts to form. It looks similar to the hole that opened up in the sky because it's just like a black
Yeah.
really
spiral
similar.
thing. Stickman's like, go through now, hurry. They're just, I'm on the same page as the humans. They're just like, what? I'm not walking in there.
The fuck?
Yeah, they're like, what are you waiting for? It's gonna close. And I guess at this point, the world's ending. Like, you're not gonna go back outside. They go through the portal.
And they come in this giant structure with all these pillars.
Yeah, which seems to be inside. That's why I'm not sure if this is a portal that took them to a different place or they literally just walked over to the other side of it and it was just protected by a door because they're in the mausoleum still, right? Because they launch off.
I
from
think
it.
so.
Yeah, I think there's
because when they exit, they seem to be able to just walk away freely. They don't need the portal to get out, get back out.
And then we go to, this is just a badass action scene with freaking Naita and Kudo, going back to back. I gotta pee real quick. You guys continue.
Naita still digging through the fucking cervicals of the giant gunner and the white gunner trying to.
Yeah. Sorry to interrupt you. Since Inseinen is gone, I want to discuss something about the king again. It's gonna be really boring. So buckle up.
The parallel with Solomon, maybe, or something else.
Yeah, but
no, it's King Arthur on his Holy Grail.
Okay, there's something interesting with it as well. The tomb. In the myth of the Solomon as well, the angels helped Solomon to build this temple, and where basically again, if you look up the Tomb of Solomon, you can probably find things about Ark as well. The Ark, the Noah's Ark, where the couple of like two genders of the same species.
Get to your point.
My point is that this thing it works as an ark. This room, the portal, and it's really massive. So it really shows like it was supposed to contain lots of species, probably lots of humans, but these two are just here. That's why it looks so massive.
Oh my god!
Yeah, I understand.
I was trying to get my mom to come over here and give her thoughts on Nihei stuff.
Oh
Because
yeah.
Oh no.
she thinks it's super cool. I've like shown her all the artwork and whatever she does. Ma, come over here and talk about Nihei. What do you think for a
Yeah,
second?
come here.
No.
Everybody wants you to
Come
come
here,
over
Mom.
here.
Shut up, Millennium.
No.
No, I'm
Oh,
just saying
man.
his mom is saying no. But if I
She's
tell my
shy.
mom to look at this stuff, like my mom gets really squeamish. She's like, "Why are you reading this stuff? This is crazy."
Oh,
It's just
dude.
That's fun.
This is the whole reason. It's her fault I'm messed up. She like showed me horror movies when I was like 8 years old. She totally screwed me over from a young kid.
Hell yeah. Completely fucked in that.
She took me to like heavy metal rock concerts when I was in middle school, and like between the horror movies and the heavy metal, she just totally turned me into a piece of work. Thanks, Mom.
Just a serial killer at night, probably.
Oh no! Don't go that
yeah.
dark.
She's right over there, isn't she?
Yeah,
She
just got done
can
working
hear
out
us.
in
He
the
can hear
shower.
us.
Huh. Did you guys get
So,
through the
yeah,
battle?
Yeah,
No.
he
not
tried to
even.
talk about
We
the king. And
waited for you, but
I
yeah,
interrupted
just
and I talked about the Ark and Ark and Solomon and stuff.
Oh my Jesus, Millennium.
just to add the
Fuck.
the most obvious stuff is that they are called mausoleums, and they can be. This is a surname for cities or how do you
Yeah.
for places where the dead are buried. So
Yeah.
this is just logical to have them to have
It's just
someone
a
buried
giant
in
tomb
it.
for king.
So yes,
Kevin,
my point
I am
was.
Kevin says, and yet you're anti-Satan. Of course, you can. you can, love Jesus and also
Anti-Satan.
love fucked up stuff. Like
Hell yeah.
we're
I
humans.
mean,
We're all fucked up.
I mean,
It's like a
rock
part of
and
our
roll is
nature.
probably
We can-
rock and roll is probably the most Christian music.
Yeah,
Yeah.
we can all agree that being
Yeah.
anti-Satan is not a wrong thing. Anyway,
Except for Mars. Except for Mars.
Except for me.
Hailing over there.
Hell yeah.
Okay.
Anyway, this is beautiful. So it looks like Nayuta is going to keep nailing away at the vertebrae while Kudo is going to clean up and kind of like protect her from the white Ghana while she's like doing it. So he's taking care of everyone trying to attack her. She is keeping away at that vertebrae, and it finally pops off. Or no, it doesn't pop off yet. Not yet. Oh no, it is right here. Yeah. This panel right here, we see it go flying right there.
Yeah.
Donk. As Kudo's cleaning up in the background. And it looks like that kind of did the job. We do see a panel of the big white Ghana kind of like go unconscious or something. Maybe. I don't know.
Yeah, we see it at least doze off. And,
and then, okay, it goes back to Totohomi and Sakajima. The portal closed. He's like, the portal is gone. She answers the phone. It's either the stickman or the bird. They're like, we're going to launch you two out of here. Totohomi's like, launch? What is this place? Stickman's like, we call it a spore ship. Thanks, Nihei. Another just good thing we know that. The Mausoleum also functions as a launch mechanism for the ship. Okay. So there's some kind of space or rocket ship in the Mausoleum that they're about to be launched off on. Totohomi's like, you mean we can escape? Escape to where? And all they say is far away. Sakajima's like, how are the people outside going to get in? Stickman's like, there aren't any more survivors. Besides, there's no time. Totohomi's freaking out, but why? Why now? Stickman's like, there are only 2 spore ships left. Only a handful of humans could potentially be saved. Sakajima's like, so you were waiting for the population to thin out? And Stickman's like, the last time there was a manifestation chain, 14 of the mausoleums were destroyed and the human population dropped precipitously. Most of those mausoleums weren't devoured by white Ghanas. They were demolished by humans at war with each other over control of the mausoleums. So this is cool. In this like flashback panel where he has this exposition, it looks like there's a bunch of big white Ghanas
Yeah,
trying
Right?
to destroy it.
it's interesting.
Yeah, so it looks like in the past, not only was there a giant white Ghana problem that are trying to, take care of all the mausoleums, which led to why the landscape looks like it does nowadays, but also humans being greedy. Maybe they knew what the mausoleums were. Maybe they weren't. Maybe they didn't know. Maybe it was like they just thought it was some kind of religious thing and
Yeah,
they made
like
gods associated with them and they fought
like
over
Jerusalem.
control. Who knows?
Yeah, yeah, like Jerusalem. Like I was saying,
Yeah,
it's kind
yeah.
of
No, that's
similar.
good.
Mm.
Okay, and then Stickman continues. This is important. And so the Observation Bureau was formed to seal away the spore ships and protect the secret. It was decided that only the highest ranked observation agents would be entrusted with this knowledge. So somehow, if the Fourth Eon Guild has roots with the human race of this planet, some people found out the secrets, made this observation society organization thing to like hold on to the secrets and run things in the background or keep tabs on what was happening. I don't know exactly,
Yeah.
but anyway, yeah, this is like a brain
Kind of
dump for
stuff.
for Totohome. She doesn't know what to say. I mean, imagine being in their situation. Like all this shit's getting dumped on you. You're about to blast off and to God knows where after everyone just got murdered, like the whole human race. The Stickman, yeah, the time has come. This is so cool. Plip, the top of the like his head opens and you just see this like little button. This is
Well,
farewell.
Everybody is gonna die.
Yeah. Totohome's like, wait, aren't you two coming with us? What are you going to do?
Are you
They don't
ready?
even-
Yeah, do it.
Yeah, they don't even answer her. And then you just see the little stick man press his button.
And it's just everything goes white, and it's just
Yeah.
It's also like a salute,
explosion, like
isn't it?
an atomic bomb just went off.
That's obvious, but
bomba.
When the stickman pushes the button, it also looks like a salute, like goodbye, Captain. It's really cool.
Okay, yeah. It does look a little like that. Yeah, so guys, feel free to talk about what you think exactly happened here. I don't know if like this the big white panel is like from the explosion from the ship blasting off and
Yeah, it's
or
explosion
some
because they're all getting fucked.
Okay.
For me, it's not an explosion per se. It's more of a vacuum that's been created through like teleportation of some sort. Because like, if there was a real an explosion, like it's just a light. You see, there is no particles flying off or anything. It's just light and wind, of course. And in the panels with the white goners and the black goners, we can see that they're just looking at the thing like it's a really huge gust of wind that's coming in their direction.
Okay. I can dig that. Go on.
And they of course they just encase themselves with the black thingy of their goner, and they become this.
So you think
shield.
this is Kudo protecting, forming like a shield around him and Nayuta, you think?
Yeah, but
to, like,
also,
protect them.
yeah, but on top of that, you see that the white goner thingy, it also becomes a shield around them. Probably I think it's that Ayuta is still there somewhere in that white goner and is trying to protect them.
Because she does. Okay, I see it. Yeah, it like branches towards them.
That's interesting. Yeah.
Okay, and then God, continue, Millennium. Please tell me what happens next.
Now here comes my like shit crazy like theories. So this huge thing that you see here, the huge plane of like solid mass in
this one,
blank of space. Yeah.
Okay.
It just so nonsensical that how can you make sense of it? But you can see like there are lots of explosions on it, and why and what is happening here? We may never know. Probably it's their world. It's their world. It was never a globe. Probably they were living in it, or maybe here's the crazy part. Maybe it's the mass from where the white goners were coming, and maybe not.
Dude, the first time
Because
I read this and I got to the end, like we're at now, I was like, it. I was speechless. I didn't know what the hell was going on, and then it just ends. I thought there would be like another chapter, but no. And I was just like, "That's it? Like, what the hell happened?"
I know, right?
Hmm.
And so this is
the
Then we
first
get
time.
to this giant panel, which is white and and the little explosion that then happened, and then all the
it
pillars,
creates
the structure where they're in, is just all overgrown. Some kind of huge junk was erupted in one moment's time.
that's what I think. I think it's just the chain reaction of explosions that happens here. And the explosion probably, I always thought before that this huge mass was the actual original place for the what you call it, the white gunner stuff that comes from the forbidden cage. But then later on I changed my mind, and I think this is the world that the people lived in. And
The white
so
Ghanas that the white Ghanas were from.
yeah, that's what I thought at first. But then, like, if the last mausoleum is out, it's gone, then they're free to come and invade Earth, right? They're free to come and bring all the, like, forbidden cage
What's
stuff
left of Earth
inside.
anyway?
Yeah,
Okay.
inside the world. Now they can invade it. So for now, I think this is the world that the humans lived in. And as soon as the mausoleum was out, the small explosion that happened, and they just went away, teleported somewhere. All the white stuff that we see in the last panel in the bottom, they're probably just forbidden cages coming and invading Earth. And it's like, okay, this is a free real state. Let's just invade the Earth now. What's the humans, in planet or whatever the mass they're living in. Now they're just invading Earth. And this is going to get confirmed later on, because in the next chapter, very next chapter, we see that the really small thing that where for example, I'm just going to say in my own terminology. So the mausoleum where the Sakijima and Totohome was, if it was indeed teleported to another time, like basically just poofed out of existence and went somewhere else, that gap would come later on the next page when you see it's all black and just this white mass. So basically it came from that page to the another page in time. It just
So
teleported.
you think they went through? They teleported in time?
Yeah, that's what I think. And there are some proof of it as well. Because in the other page, next page, when we finally see the characters come in again, you see the pillars, they've overgrown with
Yeah, what I
plants.
already said.
Okay, so
Yeah.
you think they went forward in time?
Yeah, they went forward in time. That's what I think. And what happened is that since they went forward in time, probably, just probably, this is gonna sound crazy.
Okay.
They'll probably also like travel through space as well. For example, they might be in a different dimension or different planes of existence or anywhere, but not in the same place as where the characters were in the before the time travel.
Where
So
it
it's
left
time,
off.
like, yeah, because after we see like they're coming out of this greenery, these characters woke up, they're walking out this house, little hut, and they go out the door and they look outside. This double spread page of them just standing, and there's this ocean like thingy, and there's the whole desert in front of them. This wasn't in the magazine, the scan of the magazine. This was only for this volume to make that clear that they are not in the same place.
Okay.
The what?
Because
What was added?
so in the magazine, the old scan, if the characters when the characters went out of the house, like in the panel at the left page, in the panel where they can come
That
out
was
of the
later on for the
door,
volumes.
yeah, in the door, the exact next page was just that small globular structure in the space where it was the shield. Inside the shield was Nayuta and Kudo. That was what
alright.
came afterwards. But the whole plane of like just nothingness where they're just standing in front of it wasn't in the
Alright.
original
That's interesting.
magazine. And so that's why I think, since they're looking at sky and looking at, there's nothing there. And in the very next page, we see there's something there. My theory is that they're not in the same space and time. They're separated through it. because of the mausoleum. And here comes the other theory that I mentioned before, that since the last mausoleums are gone, the white gunners get a free pass right now. They can bring all the forbidden cages. They can break every cage and just invade Earth, right? So when these two, Nayuta and Kudo, comes out of the white gunner shell, they look up and they see that the whole thing is just filled with this biomass of white gunner. And we'll see later on that there are crumbles falling from it, and the crumbles are just basically white Kona, humanoid white Kona. They're just gonna come and fight these two characters, and probably for eternity now. And so, so
And then it's just
But
like
yeah, it's also in
end
the Japanese manga.
Abara
Yeah.
part 2.
yeah, and that's how the
Okay.
Japanese manga ended as well. Yeah.
So Millennium, where Totohomi and Sakajima are a completely
Yeah.
different location than where Kudo and Naita are, surrounded by the white
Yeah.
Ghana. Is that what you're saying?
That's what I think. Yeah.
So where did Sakajima and Totohomi go?
So
Where is
Somewhere
it?
else. It's
Like
it's just
Sakajima.
in the words of the Forcian Guildy. They just go somewhere else.
Do you
Somewhere
think
far away
they're on
from
like a
the-
circular planet, or do you think they're on that? They probably on this mass. What
They're
if
not.
this is all that's left of the planet they were on too?
Here's what I think.
Probably.
I think that here's what I think. The mausoleum was a big structure, right? So they basically transported the mausoleums only and nothing else. So
Okay.
they're in space on the mausoleum and what's remained of it, and they're just standing. And when they're standing outside, you will
floating.
see, yeah, they're floating on the mausoleum, and the mausoleum's outside. It's like it has become habitable structures probably because there's greenery there. It's not the old familiar Earth, because you can see their silhouette, the white silhouette. They're standing in the
Mhm.
corner,
Mhm.
and
No, I see them.
this space is like we never see like how big this place is. So
It's all
probably
black. It looks like there's space in the background.
yeah, exactly. And in the space there is no like sign of anything there floating. So they're looking at this empty sky. But in the other page, we can see in the sky there are these people fighting, right? Like Nayuta and Kuto fighting the White Gunner probably in the future. So I think they remained in their own time, in their own space. As soon as the mausoleum went out, the second explosions, the chain of explosions that happened, those are just the invasion of the White Gunner through the Forbidden Cage. And they just manifested themselves inside Earth, and the whole Earth's biomass has become their, what you call it?
What we're looking
they're-
at now. You think the planet they were on became this?
Yeah,
Probably,
that's what I
yeah.
think.
Or
Yeah.
just white Ghana mass that's just been left out, and that's just the only thing that could have, made itself literally.
See, what I thought was they're totally far away from the planet they were on previously. So Naita, wherever the white Ghana were coming from, the first time
Mhm.
they opened the portal in the sky, and they were
Yeah.
dropping out,
Mhm.
I felt like that's where Nayuta and Kudo got transported to. Wherever in
Mhm.
space or whatever
Right.
dimension that portal was coming from. That's now where these our two crew are. And that's why they're just surrounded by, because like this looks like the white Ghana hub. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? There's like
Yeah.
that's
Yeah.
all they are.
But
And then Sakajima and Totohomi kind of went somewhere else.
yeah,
But they're
Yeah.
yeah.
Yeah, but-
What's up, Mars?
Nihei also went back when he made the master edition, Japanese master edition. Also have, and I've translated the notes in the back. Said that he didn't know Abara anymore as well. He didn't understand much of it anymore. What he wrote down or what he was referring to or what he was doing. So he basically had
So
also no
he-
idea what he was doing anymore.
It's basically the death of author. If you do know about the concept of death of author. So no matter whatever the author interprets of his own story, it doesn't matter. As soon as the text is complete, it's up to the readers to interpret it and get meaning from it. So in my opinion, it can never confirm it what's happening here, since the author has like thrown his hands up in the air. It's like, I don't know anything. He's just like,
Well,
he's
not
taking the easy
anymore,
route
'cause he
out.
was in a certain mood at the time. He was in a completely different headspace than like 20 years later or something like that.
Oh yeah,
15
definitely.
years later than in this case.
So I think like I mentioned in the last session of our podcast, that in this manga, the main four characters, like, they survived, but the outcome of it is just so grim. It's like they better have died. Like, there is no hope. In other manga, like in whatever he draws, like, if people just dies in the end, okay, that's end. We don't have to follow them through. But here, the uncertainty where it ends, there is no, like, there's a climax, of course. The whole final arc was the climax, but there is no positive outcome out of it. There is no conclusion, is what I'm saying.
Well, cool. I still think it's really cool. Like, I mean, I appreciate it a lot more now. The first time I read it, I was new to like what Nihei's works are like, so I was actually kind of pissed because I was like, I wanted closure and I didn't get it, which I feel like
Yeah.
also a lot of
I
people
mean,
think.
I
But
can
after,
read. I can read a bit of what he said on it. What I could translate. It's obviously Google Translate, so it's not that great, but
Oh,
he said
okay.
something like, "Well, it was exhausting anyway. It took me several hours to determine my reading to write this sentence, and took about 5 hours to reading it." Because I closed and restrained it even if I started reading. It's so hard to read the manga I drew, to be honest. I couldn't look straight at the picture, so I squinted all the blur my view. So you just squinted to just get anything out of it. It's been serialized since May 2005. It's been exactly 10 years. It's really twisted, and there was just Henny was just lost words. There was no explanation.
dude,
It
I
was
love
Okay.
this
sort of
man. He's on
what
drugs,
me?
midlife crisis. Like, who knows Nihei, bro?
But
I
the
want to meet,
expression
like,
did,
I want to
wasn't
know, like,
finished.
the editor of Nihei. He was like telling him about his ideas, like crazy ideas, and he just drew them. But like, I want to meet that, like, have an interview with the editors, like, making sense of all the things that he's doing in his manga.
Yeah, but the rest for now. The distinguish between the masses on a normal space and the show. I think it's a space where Kudo is fighting. I'm not sure. Do you think that this would sell at the same time? I really have to thank the magazine for publishing it. Laughs. It is. Isn't it the cause when you're laughing? I hadn't read it or recalled it for 10 years, so it's been a number of settings, so I forgot the line is
Okay.
saying the space is closed. You can say, uh, yeah.
Yeah,
Out of,
Kevin Mars loves Angel's Egg.
Oh yeah,
yeah,
Angel's
yeah.
Egg is really
It's
great.
a good work.
I love it as well.
It's
I
really
watched it probably
experimental.
a dozen times. I keep it on the TV in the living room sometimes, and my parents just come in and they see whatever is happening. They're like, "What are you watching? It's so boring." And I'm like, "Hey, shut up! It's my favorite cartoon." you know,
Oh
I watched it. I watched it lots
man.
of times.
Yeah, I'm so
Yeah.
angry. I missed the last two episodes of Blame because there's a lot of parallels to Angel
Angel's
Egg.
Egg.
Wow.
And,
Yeah.
I
yeah,
shared in the Discord, so you can read it there because
yeah,
it's
yeah.
jumbled.
Well, all right, gang. Score time. So we've
We
been
still
doing
Abara,
have
it
a 10 out of
at the
10.
more to
finale
talk.
of every story. So Mars, you can go. What do you rate Abara out of 10
I
for
read
you?
like 8.5 because it's a bit jumbled around and a bit short, but still great, obviously. I mean, so yeah,
Hmm.
8.5.
For me, Abara is like a daydream come true. Like, I sometimes have, like, before I sleep, I have to think about stuff, like, to go to sleep sometimes. And I think about this weird sci-fi settings, for fantasy settings where people are just fighting Dragon Ball Z fight and whatever, and it doesn't make sense most of the times. And it's kind of like that in Abara. It's like a daydream come true, in manga form. It just blasting out fights like just nonsense from the pages coming at you, and you have to make sense of it. And you're not gonna fall asleep, of course. So yeah, it's really great. I think Abara is really great. I would give it 9 out of 10, to be honest, and not because of the plot or the drama or the character moments or anything like that. It's just the pure concept of it is so amazing to me. And yeah, it's really inspiring. If you look at like mainstream manga now, if you read Fire Punch, if you read Chainsaw Man,
Oh, I
they
love
took
Fire
so many
Punch.
inspiration from it. Even the ending of Fire Punch, remember? It's
I
just
love the ending of Fire Punch. It's so good.
Yeah.
Never read it.
yeah, it's been very much inspired from Abara's ending a little bit. The cosmos and the passage of time and the huge structures and whatever. So I really like it. Okay, Adver, what do you think? What did you give Abara? Out of
I don't
10?
know. To be honest, graphically, it's 11 out of 10. It just
Yeah.
Yeah.
Never,
the scene cuts and everything. It's masterful. On
Mhm.
the story side, it's a bit, it's to the point where it's really good, but at the same time, there are a lot of shit that you get no information about. And well,
Mhm.
if it was
Typical
longer,
Nihei.
maybe it would be a bit better story-wise. I mean, better understandable. But
Mhm.
it's already really good. But on the I don't know. There is really no big downside. The only thing you can reproach it is that it's so short.
Yeah.
Imagine if it worked a lot more critically, and Nihei was forced to to continue it for a few more volumes. It would be absolutely insane. But yeah,
Definitely.
I don't know. Yeah, 8.5 out of 10 is maybe on the objective scale value of perfection. Yeah.
I
If
mean,
it
I
Game of
was,
really,
Thrones are obviously his best in his
I
older
really
series.
love
So that's
like.
obviously it's like a 10 out of 10.
Mhm. I really love like short manga where they're really concise and on the point of what they're expressing. They don't
yeah,
have any superficial, any pretentiousness inside of them. So this is really great.
Which is
It's a
boobs
one-off.
and tentacles and whatnot.
I
Yeah,
want to
and it.
compare it to what I like, for example, about Blame is that there is so much about it that even through each reread you can find more stuff or focus and on more specific themes and such, and so it's more of a diamond. How do
Yeah,
you say it?
Diamond in
Refined
the rough.
yeah.
diamond in the rough, yeah. And but
Also,
Abara doesn't care about that, and it just goes its way, and yeah, it's really good, but it doesn't have the mystical, advanced thing that could make it something as big as Blame, for example. But yeah,
mhm.
I just rate it just under Blame, but it's
And
not.
also Abara is like made like influence so many things in a way. For
Yeah,
example, like in the shonen manga of that time, not just shonen, like even in seinen, you'll see lots of emphasis is put towards foreground characters instead of background. But Nihei in his manga always tells his story through the background. Like in some of the pages, you can't even see the main characters because they're fighting so fast.
I
So
mean,
it's like,
yeah, it's a
yeah.
visual story. Most of it is just told by everything you see or by the art, because story-wise, it's not his strongest point, like you saw in his first
Mm.
work and later ones that came out or that were like almost finished.
You
Have
talk
you
about not your strong point. I've been watching so much Gundam UC, and Tomino is a terrible writer. I'm
Oh
sorry,
yeah,
all you Gundam fans out there, but
Tomino is autist.
And
Well,
his
it's a male.
fucking characters are, dude, his characters are just inconsistent, annoying, frustrating, contradictory to themselves. I just
Yeah.
watched Char's Counterattack last night and I was kind of pissed. Because I fucking
For
watched,
me,
I watched so much to get to there. I watched Mobile Suit Gundam. I watched Zeta Gundam. I watched Gundam ZZ. And I was like, cool, I finally get to watch Char's Counterattack. And I did. And I was just like, I can't believe you did this, Tomino. He fucks Char's character. That's all I can say. I don't know if you guys watch Gundam,
That's why I prefer stuff like Legend of the Galactic Heroes, which inspired a lot.
I need to watch
Gundam
that.
a lot. It's a lot more consistent because it's a lot more based on historical characters to begin with.
and also the Legend of the Galactic Heroes. They basically expected the people to already have read the novels when they started adapting it. So you'll get lost in characters because they didn't have that different hair colors or anything. It just everyone is in uniform and they have different names and different quirks. And you have to really pay attention to know these characters, in the beginning. But as you go along, you'll understand everything. Going back to Abara, I think, Abara really meshes together two different genre here. Like they're basically the same genre, but two different aspects of a genre. The tokusatsu genre where Ultraman fights these giant kaizus, and there are Kamen Riders who fights little monsters. And this here, it's a biopunk story where it's really grounded in reality, in the reality of that in this world, and it's just kaizu fight with like Kamen Riders here, isn't it? They're masked characters.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah.
I liked Gundam 00. So I did like that. And it's not like I don't dislike all of the UC stuff. I like some of it, especially some of the OVAs. Anyway, my bar score is 8 out of 10. I do love Abara, mainly just because the action and the artwork. I can't give it anything less than an 8 for like how fucking awesome it is. Like it's a visual feast if you like body horror and sci-fi and just dark stuff. Visual feast. It's a crime on Mal. It's like 6.72 because people don't understand it, so it upsets them.
I don't get it. The story is so complicated.
I want Naruto and Bleach.
I mean, you can't blame them.
you can't
blame. I can blame.
Can't blame them. I think it's more of a travesty. My Nihei works. I give Abara 8. Knight Sidonia I gave 8.5. Biomega I give a 9, and then Blam I give a 10.
Understandable.
And Sidonia?
Okay.
Sidonia says 8.5. I like Sidonia, Mars. I know you don't, but I like
now
it.
Digimortal.
No, we'll do Digimortal another time. We'll do a Digimortal. Dude, it's already 2 hours. We'll do Digimortal when we do Nihei's other shorter works. We'll do a bunch of them in an episode.
Okay. The Wikipedia page. If you're really confused about the plot of the manga, what happened there, the Wikipedia page really basically summarizes it. Whatever happened in the background.
Dude, I read that Wikipedia page and I was like, this is bullshit. Who the fuck wrote this? And then I learned it was you guys.
Just go to r/netshare or the Discords and you can get more out of it. Or watch the podcast.
So the Wikipedia page, here's the thing. The Wikipedia page was a nonsense when I first went into it. People were just making shit up. Like whoever edited it, he was just making stuff up that wasn't in the manga. They were like,
that's what I'm saying. Yeah. I was like, how can this be allowed to be on Wikipedia?
Because it's Wikipedia. Anybody
an entire language on Wikipedia was fiction for like 10 years. So, like the Scottish language, I think. The guy was just a teenager making up furiosities.
Nobody is checking that stuff because it's just one manga. Because
honestly, I'm reading the end of it now, and it's not like it's a terrible description. It says many years later, it is shown that the rest of humanity has been killed off by either the white Ganas or by infighting. The world is an empty landscape, and lush greenery has taken over the house's rooms. Todohome and Sakajima run out of the house and look up into the sky. Finally, we see two black Ganas, revealed to be Denji and Nayuta, still battling with the white Ganas, stranded in a separate dimension.
Here's the thing with that. When I first read that line, some people edited it again, I think, but this line was completely bollocks. So what they said is that, when I
Did you
first
say
read
bollocks?
there, yeah,
It's
sorry.
bollocks.
Because he's
I love
English.
No, I love it. I love the
I'm not
bollocks.
English. So what they were saying, like these characters are in the same place, and then again they're saying they're in separate dimension, and there is no proof of it. They're not. What are we talking about? And again, they said many years later, it's been showing that they're killed off by white Ganas or infighting. Infighting happened like thousands of years ago. What are we talking about now? I think the person whoever edited it, they weren't reading it properly. They were just skimming through it, and they felt like editing it. So I hope it gets better in the future. Someone edits it and has some, actual references of interpretation from other people. But yeah, overall, Abara is really great. I wish we could talk about this Immortal today, but I guess some other time would be better for it because we don't want to take the highlight away from Abara, and
That's
also
what I
take
was
us
thinking
down.
too. Yeah.
I mean, I have a whole list of shorts we can go through than just gag ones. So yeah, we have some stuff to talk about.
I don't know why.
Gakugen,
I don't know why it's so hard for people to understand that sometimes things are just left up to interpretation and like imagination.
Yes, they're just used to this mainstream easy plots that are mostly for kids, so
But,
they
you know,
don't know anything else.
No, Jestro, we're not doing Digimortal today.
No,
We're gonna do it along with some other Nihei shorter works.
there's a quote from Dark Souls. It's the quintessential art game where the story isn't told and stuff is left up to
And you have to
interpretation.
think about it.
Yeah. But in one of the last DLCs of the last game, there's a character that simply says that the people just search too far for stuff, and the truth seekers are like a plague because it's great that Blame is not a big community, because I feel like a lot of people would just get behind some theories by some guys that is more or less known than the other. And because this is exactly why what happens in the Dark Souls community. Like, if you know Vatividia, there's a lot of stuff he says that is completely wrong, that is completely off the tracks and wishful thinking and stuff. But people follow it and they think it's a right interpretation, even though it's made to be up to interpretation.
Yeah.
Here are the two things I want to say. Firstly, basically, I completely agree with it. And in Abara, since we're talking about Abara, it's particularly meta in a way where this observation group was experimenting on these things that they didn't understand completely, obviously. And the end result was that they were fools. They were fooled to actually make sense of these things instead of working with others. And here the interpretation thing comes up. Like, since we are very curious what's happening here, we are making different theories about it. And of course they're conflicting, and there is no paramount theory that's going to confirm that.
But that's that's the whole charm of the thing. That's also the charm with Blame, Biomecha, and all his other older works.
All of his works have
makes
some stuff
a personal story.
All of his stuff, there's at least some elements that are up to interpretation.
Yeah, it's the same what PewDiePie said once in his video. It becomes a personal thing. It becomes his personal own story, because you can make so much stuff up. You can go for hours and just make your whole world up, basically. As an example.
I forgot about what else I was trying to say, but anyway, never mind. That wasn't important anyway.
Dude, this is funny. Kevin's like, I think there needs to be a pretty concrete canon in the mind of the creator. Yeah,
don't think so.
I don't think Nihei cares about that.
No,
or just doesn't know anymore. Because he also said in interviews that back in the day, he just drew whatever came up, especially in the beginning, and then he just went on with the manga. And then later on, his fans told him like, "We don't understand it," etc., etc. And then he wanted to make Kos Sidonia to make it as easy as possible, and you see that in his work. But you see, he says also in other interviews that it was not the case, but that's probably just from some fan sites, and maybe they edited that.
Yeah,
But I
there's
can't
no
be
problem
sure
to
because I read
interpret.
all that stuff. So yeah.
Yeah, just to quote David Lynch in one of his interviews, he said, like, ideas are like fish. They're in this pond of idea land, and you just have to go there, sit quietly, and fish for ideas, and they're just gonna come up to you, and you're gonna cook the fish and whatever. And so I think it's really like that. The ideas that he came up with, Tsutomu Nihei, are really influential, really extraordinary. It doesn't take anything away from it if we find no meaning of it. But at the same time, like if you look at the mainstream media in general, like in the shonen of that time, every single character's background character needs to have a backstory. Look at One Piece, look at Naruto. Everything has like backstories that there is no mystery to it. Like nowadays, we're going back to the roots. Like if you look at Chainsaw Man, if you look at Jujutsu Kaisen, and other shonen media, where there's a imposing doom and there's a mystery surrounding it, and we don't really go into it, do not explain it. But at the time when Abara was coming out, like Naruto and One Piece, we already like we're going into the backstory of characters, and the world mythology, the world building was so much detailed that it took away from the magic of it. Like there was nothing left to our imagination. And that's why I think I love coming back to Nihei manga, where I can just use my brain to make up stuff again. So I can exercise on your own fiction ideas, you know?
Hell yeah. Oh yeah, and Kevin was like, haha, you don't even think he has an idea of what's going on. I think there's a certain amount of what he writes and draws that he knows exactly what's going on. But I also think there's some stuff that he writes and draws that he's just like up to he's like up to interpretation mode. You know what I mean?
Yeah, but also,
as someone who also writes stuff and sometimes stuff that is pretty random, I can say that when you are so focused on something, you know what's going on, but it's not gonna stay on your mind forever, and you just forget it. And sometimes you just have an idea, a precise idea of what you want to do, but you have no idea of what reasons are behind it, what backstory there is to something. And it's just cool. It's just something that comes up, and you want to do it, but there's no, you don't have a reasoning behind it to do it or to put it on paper.
That's what the corporeal manifestation is about.
Dude, it's corporeal. Can we all just like start using corporeal in our daily lives? I'm gonna start using it more.
Next stream, when someone gets in, we say it's a corporeal manifestation.
Jestro said something I wanted to talk about. Oh yeah, Jestro was like, Mars is right. However, we need to understand that others are put off by the personal interpretation stuff. I think he's like talking about, recommending Nihei works to normal people. And yeah, I would agree. The one thing I've always noticed when I show Nihei stuff to people is they're like, oh my God, this looks incredibly badass. Like just the artwork in general. I mean, that's one of the reasons I love all of his stuff. The artwork is, Nihei is my favorite mangaka. I can't think of another artist. Well, I guess Miura's Berserk is also very visually appealing. That would probably be like my second most. Oh, I just want to have a visual orgy. Berserk would come after Nihei's works.
Yeah,
but other than that, I can't think of.
Word now, please. Thank you.
Oh, I'm sorry, Mars. Were you?
Yeah, you're also talking to
me. What was your hand? Was your hand raised? I can't see you.
Yeah, fuck you.
Are you talking in the chat? Everyone, pause.
I'm not talking in the chat. That takes too long because it's too slow. But Yeah, not everybody. Blame is obviously not for everybody, and so are his other works not for everybody because he's just a whole different plane he's working on, just different from all the other mangaka
It's a niche.
in
Yeah.
science fiction.
Okay,
So,
okay.
but also Nihei thinks, well, he was in a different mood at the time. His whole thinking was different. He didn't really like humanity that altogether or just people. He was really introverted. He still is. Because when I met him, he was also not the most social person ever. And also with the interviews, he's not the most social person ever. So
That's relatable.
his thinking that's just different from now because it's now 20 years later, so his whole thinking is now different. You can see that in his works with the comedy, with the writing, with the setting, with everything, his style, whatnot.
Hmm.
So it's
I
more
love his
like,
sense of humor.
yeah,
Anytime he
Yeah,
shows
later
a
it's,
on
sense of
it's
humor in
more
his
his
works,
sense of
I
humor,
love
yeah.
it. Yeah.
It's so awkward and just funny.
Yeah.
yeah,
Really
it's
is.
so funny seeing these super serious stories and just especially in old stuff like by Omega, Blame, and even Abara, there sometimes some skits of humor, and you're just like taken aback, like what? Did you just put comedy in my badass manga?
Yeah, Doom. We'll be doing Blam 2 and the other sequels to Blam and Nihei's other short works. Guys, next week we are doing Biomega.
Yeah,
And then after Biomega, probably do some Nihei shorts. And then we'll probably do something non Nihei for the first time in forever. But then when Opossums finishes getting their physical volumes out, we'll do Opossums.
or
Absolutely.
just if all the scans are out and we can just read that because also
Yeah.
works.
Or maybe we'll do some anime too. Guys, I kind of want to I want to do a podcast where we talk about Ergo
Technolize,
Proxy and fucking
Proxy.
Technolize. Yeah, and like Serial Experiments Lane. Like I want to hit all the cyberpunk classics anime wise. And honestly, I'd love to hear your thoughts. Chat and just, Mars at for a Millennium. I don't want to do them in parts. I think like when you talk
The
about an
whole thing in
anime,
one
you
go.
have to reference the whole thing when you're talking about bits and pieces. So it's like we would watch the whole series during the week, or if it's a longer series, we'll plan it ahead of time, and then we just talk about all of it in one episode.
Yeah, that'd be really cool.
Okay, cool, and we'll take like suggestions and stuff, but definitely the cyberpunk classics.
Or just something more on the ground and not just the most well-known stuff because everybody and their mothers already talked about it in videos and whatnot. So yeah,
Yeah,
well,
there
that
probably won't.
also, but you get my point.
Yeah, probably not too much mainstream stuff. Honestly, like we'll get to it. We should probably call it now. Any last words? Any last words,
Yeah,
guys?
I'm just gonna go
I
back
mean,
to the interpretation stuff. I think the hustle about people not managing to come up with their own interpretation of some media is because to begin with you have to have imagination yourself, and it's there's not a lot of to get in the mind of a dreamer who just does what he wants. You need to be a dreamer yourself, and I think it's a problem for a lot of people who are either grown up or don't have aren't that imaginative. So yeah, I think those are good closing words.
Hell yeah. Okay. And all right, Jestro, I'll try to get you on for an episode of Opossums. It'll be a while though, like next year probably when all the
yeah,
volumes have been released.
I'll be getting
Um,
my list of shorts like Deadads, Sabrina, Idaho, Sknit, and obviously Gag One because that has all the shorts in one, so that's not difficult to get. So yeah,
Yeah.
Breaking Quarantine. So yeah, you can have a whole episode with just shorts that are enough for that anyway.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't think you're gonna do an episode of Moebius, so I think I'm gonna sign you off for some episodes to let other people in, maybe.
Yeah, no, we'll
Mm.
figure it out.
Yeah.
Any last words, Millennium?
Nothing else. Just it's like it was really nice talking to you guys with Abara, about Abara, and I bought the volume just for this like thingy to talk about.
Stream.
Yeah,
Oh, cool.
the
Yeah,
stream.
it's totally worth it. If there, I
Yeah.
think
It's
if there's
worth it
anything,
anyway. You don't have to buy it for
Yeah.
just the stream.
and it's
Not
just
just the
one.
stream. It just became an excuse for me to buy, but I wanted to buy this for a long time. So it's really nice, and I found it in a cheap price on eBay as well. So it was really good
Yeah.
quality, like brand new. So thank you guys for
And
having me
cheaper in
here.
England too.
Absolutely. Yo, everyone out there, stay tall, heavy, tough, and thanks for supporting the podcast, the channel. We got like 30
Twitter,
subscribers this
hit up
last
his
week.
Twitter already.
Yeah.
Woohoo.
No, don't hit it. I don't go on Twitter. People bug me on Twitter. I like never go on there. Keep blowing the channel up. Like, comment, subscribe. We could be at
Smash the like
500.
button.
Yeah,
Give
we
us
could be
some
at
love on
500 by the
Reddit,
end of the year.
r/netswear.
But anyway, take it easy, everyone. Oh, if you're gonna do drugs and alcohol, do it
Do it.
responsibly.
Nah, don't do it. I'll say it.